Right, we are doing a Skywatch tonight. It is warm. What are we on here? 33.4 degrees. Very toasty here, but sit back and relax if you can in this heat and help us watch for the strange and anomalous in the night sky. We are coming to you live from Wiltshire, here in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge. Lots of weird and wonderful things in the night skies here. We've had a very good run of Skywatches lately, so hopefully they are going to continue. That blue that we're seeing there, that is the last bit of daylight. We need to wait for the sun to go fully round, and then we're going to see more and more stars, awesome colours, and all those objects flying around up there. Oscar, how are you doing? Good to see you in. So yeah, we are looking out for the weird and wonderful, strange and anomalous, the UFOs, the UAP in the night sky here. So do let us know what you spot, but also make sure you are following or subscribed. We do this pretty much every night. Clear skies is this, and we should have another few of these this week. Is the UFO UAP Skywatch, and cloudy nights we do an alien radio signal hunt there. And what's that, Oscar? I just finished Invincible Compendium 3 there, the full story. Oh my god, that is a lot there, man. That is a lot. You got enough on at the minute. Oh, excellent though. It is good. I'm surprised in this heat. God, I'm struggling to do anything, let alone focus. So yeah, this is what we're doing. We're doing a live UFO Skywatch there. So help us look out for the strange and anomalous in the night sky. We've seen lots of interesting things. Only the other day we did have, was it 2 anomalies one stream and then 3 anomalies on the one previous to that. So I'm expecting it to be another good one there. I see the likes coming in as well. The likes and shares, guys, all of that stuff, the tapping away, the shares, all that stuff does really help us reach more and more open-minded, intelligent people there like yourself, and the more people like that that join us, the more stories we get to hear about the phenomena. That is my favourite bit, is hearing what you guys have experienced individually. Yes, we do appreciate that, but do let us know where you're watching from. Say hello, ask any questions you may have. There's no silly questions here. How are we doing, Carl? And Adele there. You got screaming men around me watching them. Oh god, it's foot. I'd totally forgotten about that. I'm not very athletic there. So it looks like we're competing with a footballer tonight there. Maybe we'll be the one to watch there. And how are you doing, Colt, there? And Hull, I love that. I do like a little bit of the upper north there. You're not too far from the old North Yorkshire moors that have got lots of activity. Have you ever seen anything strange up there yourself? Dan is in. Good to see you there, sir. How is your week going? It's warm here. It's very warm. Currently 33.7 degrees in this room. It's only going to get hotter. I am not happy about it. But I am happy how clear the sky is. So as it gets darker, we're going to see so many stars. It's going to be absolutely awesome to see. And we're past the solstice, so it is going to be going back down, isn't it, to there? It's going to get earlier and earlier. We're going to see all of the activity, all of the stars, all of the shooting stars, all of the moving objects in the night sky. Oh, Bempton Cliffs. So yeah, I have heard they are a little bit of a sort of a weird place there. Lots of strange things going on. Have you witnessed things that way yourself? I haven't actually been, but I'm aware of the place. I would do it. It's very much on our list. You know what, I need to add that to our road trip. So occasionally we take the Skywatch rig on the road. And was it last week we went up an Iron Age hill fort where there's lots of historic sightings here in Wiltshire. And we got harassed by cows. But it is always pretty fun to do that. But we do want to do a proper UK tour of all of the spooky, weird places there. And it's too hot today there, Adele. And then to add insult to injury, the footballers. Oh, I know. That's exactly how I feel. I used to hate that when I was younger, because the pubs would be busy, full of loud people as well there. And Harco is in there. And Emilio, how are you doing? And how are the Netherlands? Is it as hot there as it is for us here? It's very, very warm there. And Truth Proof there. You know what? That does ring a bell. I'll have to check it out. Thank you for the heads up there. So guys, if you're just joining us, we're doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch tonight there. These are the skies live over Wiltshire here in the UK, just down the road from Stonehenge, but right in the heart of Crop Circle country. We see lots of strange things. Do help us spot the anomalous objects there. We've got the grid to point out where those things are, and hopefully if I'm caught up in the chat we'll be able to zoom in on the interesting ones. We are waiting for the sun to properly go round. It's dark for us here on the surface, but it's not fully gone around. That's why it's still a bit blue there. When that goes, we're going to see more and more stars, more and more moving objects. It's going to be pretty cool. And Tick as well, thank you for the gifts there. Kate is in, how are you? And Ben too, good to see you there over on the tubes there. Turner as well is in there. Colin and Harco is in the house. How are you doing, Harco? Is it already midnight for you? I bet it's coming up to, isn't it, with the old time delay. Anyway, guys, yeah, so that's what we're doing. Let me turn up the brightness a touch, see if we can get a little bit more of those background stars in. We have to keep adjusting the settings. We don't want to wash it out there. Have we got any movement on screen? It's quieting down a little bit. Oh, no, we do. We've got one. We got up some movement. Right, there we go. Look at that flashing up there.
Zoom mode activated.
So that's pretty cool to see. So it just flared up. Now that can still be explainable there by satellites and things like that. We need to see these objects as they come across the screen, which we'll see more of later on there as it gets darker. We need to watch them, or one down here as well.
Zoom mode
We need to watch
activated.
these across the screen there. We need to see them stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory. Oh, look, there's 3 at once. Where did the other 2 come from? The 4th, there we go. Just started from nowhere. I didn't see these 2. I was following that one, but it's like they come out of nowhere. But yeah, we need to see them stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory. That will tell us for sure that it is not one of the many man-made satellites up there in the night sky. Lots of man-made objects up there. And Colt there, the grid. So the grid it's very simple. It's just a little way that you guys, so if you spot some, if you want something to... Sorry, guys. Looks like old TikTok is having a bit of a sulk tonight. Let me just see if I can problem solve that one for you. See who is the culprit. I shouldn't be anything using any of these, anything on the networks. That was a weird one. So it decided to update there and cut you off. Hopefully that won't be too much tonight. But yeah, so the grid is basically just to help identify what might be going on there. So as it gets darker, we get more and more stars. It's harder to notice them. But say this a big bright one here. This is Vega star there. Somebody comes in and goes, what's the big bright purple one there? You can say, look, it is B2, and then we can just go, oh, we can zoom in, I can see where it is. But also it depends if the mods are in and able to, but they have access to some controls and they can actually highlight the squares. There you go, some movement down here. They can highlight these squares remotely, so when I get lost in the chat, they can press the buttons if you guys put those grid references in. If it's anomalous, they can press the button, highlight the square, and I'll be catch my attention, and we can zoom on in there. So guys, as you're joining us, say hello, let us know where you're watching from. Any questions, do ask away. How are you coping, Kate? I'm trying to be more graceful about it, but I'm hot. I'm hot. I had to go into Bristol today, and yeah, the trains were buggered, and I ended up sitting on a hot train for 2 hours. I thought I was going to keel over, but I'm all right. We're all right. We made it. We made it. There was some guys, like I thought it was charity workers on the wall for Bristol Station to the office on one of the main thoroughfares. I'm like, oh, that's cheeky. The charity in this heat trying to get us to sign up and give over more money in their little tent, harassing us. And I got over to them, ready to give them the shun, and they were giving out water to people on the street because it was just so damn hot. It's ridiculous. It was every time I left the office, which thankfully was airconned, it was like being on holiday and getting off the plane. All right, we need to keep your eyes on all of these ones here. We need to see them stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory. It tells us for sure that they are something a little bit stranger indeed. But how are you and the ferals there coping, Kate? And Al Vickers, how are you doing there? Thank you for the follow. Good to have you guys in. If you're new here, say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. And do make sure you are following or subscribed, because clear nights we do this. It's the UFO UAP Skywatch. And yeah, we're going to have a few of those this week. On cloudy nights we do this. It's an alien radio signal hunt there. Like the film Contact, we're listening out on the hydrogen line, listening out to hopefully hear ET say hello. And the heat is not, it really is. It's just blowing hot air around in here, Ben. I'm not a fan. I'm 34 degrees in here now. 34. We're going to accurately complain as the night goes on there. So is it looking through a telescope? Good question. So most people think it is, and it's very understandable to think so, but we're actually just looking through a normal fancy photography digital camera. The trick is the lens, so it's not very zoomed in, because where we're looking for anomalies, we don't necessarily know where they're going to be in the night sky. So we want as wide a field of vision as possible that's not too bright that we can't see, everything's too small. So we want quite a wide field of vision there, so we can zoom around and see what might be going on. But it's just out in the garden. It's on a little motor that we can pan and tilt it. But yeah, that's what it is. It's a live feed from a camera, basically, letting in a lot of light. So this lens, it looks in the visible light, what human eyes can see. So we're not looking in the infrared or the ultraviolet there. This is what you see with the human eye. But it does let in more light. So about 2.5 times what you'd see with the naked eye. So to me, it's pitch black out there. But this camera is still seeing that blue bit of daylight because the sun hasn't fully gone round. How are you doing, Dawdle? Thank you for the gifts. Appreciate those. It all goes back into the stream there. Help us improve what we do. And it was bad here too. They had to drag the younger ferals around a couple of shops after school. Oh, honestly, when it's hot like this, it's like nothing normal happens. Cannot compute. All service is paused for me. So I think you did well getting to do the normal things there. And Scented, how are you doing? An evening I'm currently reporting from a human puddle. And the missus made spicy food for dinner. So not only was I sweating for the heat, but also for food. I mean, it was not there. And the aircon. Oh, those shops. But actually, that's a good point there. The shops having aircon. I actually walked into Morrison's and I was like, you know what? It doesn't even feel cold in here. Even with all of those fridges, it still doesn't feel cold. Lots of more movement there. Remember, we've got to track it, follow it across the screen, see if it does anything strange there. Susie is in, and Dordor, getting your messages there. How are you? And no worries there, this bloody cold. I do appreciate the questions. They're good questions. If you're curious, other people in the chat will be as well, and they'll be grateful that you've asked them, save them the job there. The double mess. I know. My nose was running. I'm a horrible sweaty mess today. It's not pleasant. Right, I'm going to bounce back over to the tubes. Where do we get to in your chat, guys? We've got to Harco in there. And Emilio there, 27 degrees in the house at the moment. I'm winning, 34. It's ridiculous. It really is there. Marcus, how are you doing over there? Gaza too. Zen is in. And RJ. Oh, Pontypridd. I didn't know that, but that's a very beautiful, beautiful part of Wales there. Again, lots of history of the phenomena. Have you seen anything strange yourself? Forgive me if I have asked you before, but we do love to hear all of your individual accounts. It's literally my favourite thing. I love having the sightings when we do see those cool things, and we are quite lucky with our skywatches. They are normally quite fruitful, and especially when it's going to be as clear as it is tonight. In fact, it was some of the heat waves last year. We had some of our best sightings, so I'm actually quite looking forward to it. Not from the dehydration and the headache I will get after this, but for the sightings. But my real favourite part is hearing all of your individual accounts with the phenomena. It's the one thing that's changed my opinion the most, is just hearing how much activity is going on to what range. And Scooby there, how are you doing? Are you ready for the next file drop on Friday? I'm excited, I'm hoping there is going to be one. But they confirmed it. They threw me off a little bit with the last one. You know, I'm a bit nervous, Scooby, I'm a bit nervous. I got to say, what about you? Are you looking forward to it there? And Zen there. And imagine if we could see the 99% of the light spectrum of the other night. Yeah, like, well, these things, radio waves technically light. It's all the electromagnetic spectrum. We just kind of perceive it all differently, don't we? But that is, you just think of what else could be going on there. This is, we tend to think, don't we, that we see reality, give or take. But that is not how our senses work. It's not how our brains work. We never developed the senses to detect anything in the infrared, ultraviolet, the radio spectrum there. There is so much going on out there that we do not perceive. Luckily, we can build sensors for a lot of it, but yeah, we do not necessarily see anywhere near close to base reality. It's a very interesting one, Zem. And attorney out there, and props to you there, would die about my AC here in America. I am very envious of you. Every year I go, I'm going to get an air conditioner. I've done it. I'll wait until after the heat wave and the prices go back down. I'll get one. Then I don't. And then I'm complaining about my heating bills in the winter, so we don't buy one then when they're cheaper. And then I see the weather forecast for the next week, and I'm like, should have bought that. And I know it's coming. 34.2. 34.2. You're watching me cook in real time. Hold on. Microwave sound effects. Put a fork in me, I'm done. And there, British Knight, how are you doing? It is hot, isn't it, there? And what the hell would that even look like? Oh my god, to perceive it. Can we even perceive it there, Zem? And I feel like this one will be better. I really hope so, and that would really restore my faith. I'm not fully lost faith. I'm still on the course of, maybe these are slow processes, maybe there's method to the madness. But when you start, there's a little crack showing, and I'm like, come on, lads, don't drop the ball now. And until we start seeing physical aliens around us, no one is asked. But you're quite right there, Zen. We have this thing, don't we, that we need to see the things, and part of that is reasonable, but it's quite a high demand there. So maybe if they are a bit stranger, maybe if they're not physical in the sense of, other beings from other planets, which I do think will exist, it's just a numbers game there, but maybe with the phenomena that we all describe, maybe if it's a little bit more thinky, maybe if it's a dimensional angle here or something a little bit hard to wrap your head around, you can't put that in a punchy headline. That doesn't meet the the media there. How will they convey that to people? Which probably wouldn't be interested, which I think would be a shame, because whatever the reality of the universe is, it is going to be amazing there. Harko, thank you for the gifts. Appreciate those guys. The gifts, the subs, the members, all that jazz goes back into the stream. Speaking of members, and if there is a file drop, we have actually got our next deep dive for members and Patreons scheduled for Saturday, and it will be before the live stream, so we'll still come on and do our stream for Skywatch for everybody afterwards there. But our deep dives are for the members and that, where we go through with you guys in real time all of the documents, the whistleblower accounts, leaked images and stuff related to the phenomena, and we do the emergency deep dives for when the old Americans drop the files there, so we can go through them all in real time with you guys. I feel like it's kind of doing my homework. You hear all the time these reports and documents and images or whatever they are being referenced. You know, I never bother to check them, but this is a good excuse that we go through it all there. We read all the scientific papers ourselves. Some of my favourite ones were the scientific papers we've read on Real Life Warp Drive and stuff like that. So members, do make sure you're joining us, and patrons there on the Saturday for that one. If there is a file drop Friday, we might switch it over. We have got planned to do the file drop there, but there is a link in our bio there for a month for free on the Patreon, so you better join us for that one for free, and some others throughout the month there. G-Mac, thank you for the gifts there.
Nom nom nom, thanks,
and
guys.
Feeding Alan as well. And R4, how are you doing? There, great to see you, and how things are coping the heat wave. Not graciously. What are we on now? 34.3. I'm melting. There is Wednesday already, Harco. Oh dear. Hopefully, look, the clocks are going to be going back. Well, not the clocks, but you know, it's getting darker earlier, so we'll be able to be going on, I think, like 10 minutes earlier each week as it progresses there. Maybe a little bit more than that. But we'll get to a more reasonable hour soon. Oh, God, last summer, we were on until about 2 in the morning. We were doing 4-hour streams there. The novelty of it all. And G-Wag there, astronomers just detected the first ever coherent radio signal from an alien planet, just 12 light years. What? What? I've just seen it on the Facebook there. Now, I need to... I'm not on Facebook, so I can't see those links. Did it give like a planet name or the research group? Because I want to hear about that. I love the idea of the signals. Now, honestly, there are a lot of interesting candidate signals out there, and I am a very strong believer in the BLC1 signal that appeared to be coming, and more than once, from our closest neighbour, Proxima Centauri. I think the universe is alive. I don't think we're special in any way. So thank you for the heads up there, G-Wack. That is awesome as well there. Just relocating the fan. I did have 2 fans in here earlier, but Leanne has nicked it back, so I'm just going to be cooking in here. It's getting a bit ridiculous now there, just simply sitting in my house. It really is. I was stuck on a train with no air conditioning, with the sun on it, in a field for 2 hours earlier, but also rammed like that because they'd cancelled the other trains, so everybody was packed in, and I thought I was going to die. I didn't, as you can tell, or maybe I have. It's a very different sort of stream there. We're coming to you live from the other side. This is Adele, but yeah. Anyway, let's get over to the tubes. If you are just joining us tonight, guys, we are doing our live UFO, UAP, Skywatch, coming to you live from Wiltshire, right in the heart of crop circle country, and just down the road from Stonehenge, here in the UK. Lots of strange and anomalous things in the night sky. We're looking out for those moving objects. We need to track them as they move across the screen, but we need to see them do something strange. Is there any on the minute? I think it's quiet for the second. Yeah, I can't zoom in on any just yet because there's nothing moving. But yeah, we want to see the dots. They look like the stars, but they're moving. Oh, that was a faint one up there. That was weird, the way that flared. You can just about see that, look. But it kind of flared. It doesn't look... Maybe it's a satellite. That's interesting. Oh, look, there's a moving one. Again, we're going to get much more contrast, so we're going to see more and more as the night moves on there. That blue is going to go, the sun's going to sod off around, and yeah, we're going to see more and more activity. So we're going to see those objects there, but we need to see them stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory. That tells us for sure, 100%, that they are not a man-made satellite. If they're acting like that. And where are we? And because of my encounter 47 years ago, I know we are not alone there, and I just got a bunch of questions I need to... This is the thing, Scooby. Like, a lot of people come in, it's a good question, they come in and go, what would you ask an alien? And my first response is, well, having that confirmation, like, in front of my eyes, I'm not seeing a being myself. So having that, you go, right, that immediately answers a fuck lot of questions for me right there. But it's not a second question or a third, it's then 1,000 other questions after that. So I do not doubt that one, Scooby, a bit. What are some of those questions? I think I could probably guess a few, and might be, you never know there, but there is a lot out there, so we have to filter it. But I do think there is generally a lot of those interesting signals. So where are we there? And make sure to drink some water. That is the seriously unhealthy heat, if that's your room temperature. Open a window. I can't, this room just holds the heat, but I have got my water that I do forget to drink. We have a little hydrate emoji, because I will forget. Oh, I forget how good cold water is. Oh, it's ridiculous in here at the minute. It's not much better outside, to be honest. I've got a lot of computers and lights in here, which explains a lot of the heat. We were expecting it to be worse this year, 34.5. But it's only a few degrees hotter in here than it is just generally in the bloody house. Holds the heat. I might need the reminding there. Eternia. And Indigo there, not looking forward to the next 2 days. I am, yeah. We're going to see if we can make it through. But on the plus side, we are going to have some fantastic Skywatches, guys. So make sure you're following us, subscribed. We're going to be on every night, and you'll get us notifications, hopefully, when we go live there. I'm not here to convince people. Everyone needs to make their own decisions and keep searching for the answers. And I think, like, I get frustrated with people as, like, you know, if you don't, you know, we don't all agree on the same things. But I try to not, because I think you're right with that totally. You know, if it's the other way around, I need to see things as well. So I treat it at the minute when people are coming in with things, even if I haven't seen it myself, it is going to be the, you know, we can hold these things open as possibilities there, but I'm a nightmare for it. I need to see it myself. I need to reinvent the wheel, which takes a lot of time, but I fully relate. And John is in. How are you doing there? And I looked more into St. Francis, and his second NHI encounter left him with the first recorded case of stigmata. Historians confirmed he did not have those wounds, but they obviously questioned how he had got them. Now, it's very interesting, because I hadn't put the stigmata together there, well, the connection to the first one. So it's interesting, isn't it? There, I mean, if you take away, you know, what that interpretation is, what those effects, you know, they were describing, you know, the lights and the, you know, the potential damage there and the cost that came. But I hadn't heard, I think as you mentioned it, wasn't it, the other day, about the first NHI experience that he'd had. That was new to me there. First question is, what is the history of humans? They sit you down and go, right, where do you want to begin? They go, which version? Maybe time isn't linear, maybe there's many versions. My first question to a super advanced aliens would be, can you fix my back pain? Actually, I think it'd be a cue for that, wouldn't there? Yeah, that's going to be most common ones. My first one is, right, do you come in peace? Right, and once we've got that out of the way, that for me structures the rest of the other questions there. And Ghost, how are you doing there? Unless they like the heat, they won't be visiting today. Can you imagine? They dip down and go, oh no, it's like putting your toe in the water. No, we'll come back later. Unless they're, like, you know, from Venus, then this is cool for them. There. Second question, why are you here? Yeah, what are you doing here? You've got to say it in that sort of way as well. Though, Thomas and GWAC and Harco coming in with the gifts. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. All goes back into the stream. Going to bounce back over to the TikTok. Where did we get to? I'm across 2 chats tonight, guys. So do say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. Ask you questions there. Might take me a second to get across. Once I'm going to go through one, then go through the other, and so on and so on there. But yeah, do let us know where you're all watching from and how do you feel about the phenomena. Let's turn up the brightness a touch. We're still waiting for oh, let's faint one in there, one down here, one there. We're still waiting for the blue to go, the daylight to go around there. And Ram Raiders, how are you? Thank you for the gift. Where did we get to? Eyes are struggling in the heat now. The sweat is running over my contact lenses. How are you doing, Disclosure? And Scott, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us there from tonight? And R4, what time are you on to, do you think? And I'm going fishing early tomorrow there, but debating whether to go to bed or not. Well, R4, if you can get any sleep in this heat, then I wouldn't blame you for it there, especially if you've got to get up early. But we're probably going to be on till around midnight 1, depending how hot I get in this room and how long I can last. See what the temperature gets to for 34.6. It's increasing there, coming the way to the east there, and scented there. Some people got some good movers there doing the summer solstice the other night. Oh yes, I have seen lots of going. I know how warm that is.
The bottom of the stairs is 24 degrees.
Oh my god!
I told you that's the coldest.
The coldest spot in the house is the bottom of the stairs. I'm gonna live. That's 10 degrees difference. I don't think I can, because I won't come back in this room. No. It's just too hot. It's too hot.
To go from 10 degrees, that's insane.
I've already go, oh, it's cold. My sweat will freeze over. But yeah, what a great time for a sighting solstice there. Maybe some sort of connection with activity being increased or decreased. There is actually a correlation between, I think it's the equinox and solstices for solar activity on how it affects our magnetosphere on the sun. You know, there's a high and a low point there. It does interact with it there. Then the fans are evenly distributed between the ferals there on their cages. You know, I keep seeing videos of people like using fans to inflate a duvet cover, and then they just sit inside this duvet cover full of air. I'm going to have to try them. I don't think I've got a powerful enough fan. And Smoke, good evening from Scotland. Very good to have you in. How are your skies tonight? They is clear here. Long history. Scotland, Wales, very, very active for the phenomena. Have you seen anything strange there? And the football is done there, so I can finally hear the live. Yeah, you've got to get them to switch over. We'll notice we'll get more people in. Now that one's off there. Did we win? Did we lose? And GWAC there doesn't say, but independent paper said the same. Ooh, in 2023 there. So this is the thing. When you look, science would have you know, would have you believe that there are no interesting radio signals. There are loads that they cannot explain away there. Now, they can't get that second confirmation, which is what they really, really need to see. But there are definitely lots of anomalous ones out there. And Darren as well, thank you for the gifts and for feeding Alan. God, I want that ice cream now. There you go. Look, got some movement. All right, here. Now, this is what we're looking out for.
Mode activated.
We need to see this stop dead, shoot off at speed, change its course or trajectory. There are lots of moving objects up there, mostly man-made satellites. Statistically, that's what that sighting is probably going to be, unless it displays strange behaviour. That will prove to us 100% that it is anomalous there, because man-made satellites are falling to Earth in a big circle. They cannot stop dead, shoot off at speed, or change their course or trajectory. In the same way that I can't jump off my roof and just stop halfway. It don't work like that there. But coloration and flashing can be of interest too. We just got to wait for that blue to go, probably another 10 minutes, and then we're going to see so many more stars. All of the colours of those stars is going to look fantastic, but more contrast, we're going to be able to see those objects much more easily. And you're watching the Scotland and Brazil game tomorrow there to see if the UFO actually comes. Yeah, I see that keeps popping up, and I forget about it, and then I hear about the football. Oh yeah, there's that game coming. That's a game on the Wednesday. I mean, it's a claim. At least they've made it nice and so we can see if they were right or not. I mean, that would be pretty unambiguous, wouldn't it? If it, I mean, God, the way the world is at the minute, how crazy it is, and the sorts of disclosure and whatnot we're getting, it really, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't bet the farm on it, but I wouldn't also be surprised there. It's a military chopper. There's 3 of them within 40 kilometres around Westminster now. Excellent. Oh, we're at Warminster, almost. Westminster's in London. That's the posh bit. I can't afford that. But yeah, lots of military activity going on here lately. But that is the nature of living next to the ranges. Lots of stuff going on. And when I used to work in a care home, they had these metal fans that sounded like airplanes, but were so... honestly, Kate, the old man bought me one of them once, right? Big freestanding bugger it was. And it was just too loud. It was too loud. So I gave it back to him. I strongly regret that now. That would have been incredibly helpful. I long for having my ears deafened just to be a few degrees cooler. There, everyone from different units used to keep trying to rob them. Yeah, when you've got one good thing. What it is for in the audio world. Have I got one here? I've got one here. If I pull it out, this is the equivalent, right? It's an audio 3.5mm jack to the whatever that is size jack there. If you've got one of them and you work in radio, TV or whatever, podcasts, keep it on you. Never let it go anywhere, because they will rob that from you. Like gold. Phone battery, fast charger, fully charged at 7 a.m. there. Ooh, hey, you're ready to go. And could be. Yeah, it could be. You never know, though. And so will the mothership come tomorrow. I wouldn't bet the farm on it, but the way things are going, maybe, you know, there's just a general increase in activity, higher likelihood of this sort of thing, and that's why they're letting us all know, because, you know, there's a possibility. Again, yeah, I think, how does it work? So the thing is, you don't know what you don't know. So if I'm to fully dismiss something like that, it's not based on any facts. You know, it's just based on a gut feeling. Like, who is this person? I don't know them. They've got no credibility with me because I have no relationship with them. So there's no value to me fully dismissing it there. But how the intelligence services work is they need 3 separate sources for the same intel, basically, and then they'll take an action. So 3 different sorts coming in, then I would, that aren't connected, aren't aware of the other, then I go, okay, that might be interesting. But hey, it's of no cost to us, is it, to watch and see what happens there. And Sharon there, my dad is a reptilian. Now, but what does that make you then? Are you half? And how are you doing, Print Farm? How are you? Good to see you in. And too bad you're not pointed at the northeast there, 3 military choppers. Where are we pointing? No, we are south. We're the opposite way. Yeah, we are south-southwest at the second there, hunting a UFO. Well, maybe around here, maybe. And off to fly in at the bedroom. Oh, catch you later, G. Well, to fry in the bedroom, yeah. Hopefully you'll get some service there. Some sleep there. Room service. And, is that Jeffrey's door from the afterlife, like in Beetlejuice? You know what? It's been a long time since I've seen Beetlejuice. I don't know the one. Frenchie, 24 degrees at the moment. Frenchie, I've got you beat. 34.6. Oh, it is warm. What's that in American? Does it do it in American? Yeah, hold on. Let's change it. Oh, I broke it. It doesn't... It doesn't do American. Just an eagle appears on the screen. Come on. Is that it? No. Oh. Okay, it is doing it. So, 97.6. Oh, no, it's going down to 94. It's figuring itself out there. 96.7. It's much more sensitive, the Fahrenheit, isn't it? 96.9, 96.3, 97.6. 97.8. Oh, it's getting warm. And there. And Florentine, how are you doing? Where are you joining us from there? Joking, it isn't. Oh, not with the heat at the minute. Oh, 98.2. If we get to 100, I'll win a prize. Brittany, even in summer, I sleep with the aircon on there and a fan there. I don't know how you guys survive in the UK. But most of the time, I do prefer a colder room. But we can deal. We can deal. But not tonight. What are we? 97. Yeah, this is a warm room. And Dave G, more stars in the sky than on the pitch there. I take it we didn't win. When do we though? No time for that. They had enough of an effort putting up Crap Princess tent from B&M this morning. But at least it was air conditioned. You inflate the tent with air and send it there. You're telling me you can't do that? Probably not at the minute. And how are you doing, Becky? There? Are you the guy who does the Pink Flamingos podcast? No, I don't. Oh, Pink Flamingos. Why does that ring a bell? Pink Flamingos podcast. What's that one? You'll have to tell me a bit more. No, it's not me. I work in podcasts, but I don't. That's not one of mine. Sadly, tell us a bit more on it there. If it's a good one, we want to hear about it there. And Chase, how are you doing there? If you see my mum, tell her I said hi. It's gone with my father. See him again. And are you spotted on Orion, Venus, or Jupiter in C2? I don't think so. We're looking at Vega. So we've got Vega, that big bright purple one there in B2. So yeah, no, I think Orion is round the other way there. And single flash, and then in A4. Now this can be good spot in there, R4. So this can be very anomalous. It doesn't sound very sexy out of all the anomalies that we might be able to see in the night sky tonight. There, a solitary flash. Now, if that flash comes back multiple times throughout the stream from the same spot, that is very interesting. As I said, everything should be moving, should be in motion up there. It's falling to Earth, or to whatever it's orbiting. It's falling to Earth. So if it is, that's a lot of energy it takes to sit still. The only exception are the geostationary satellites, and they're not in this part of the sky. So that can be incredibly anomalous there. Got flashing in A3 there, Laurie. Good, spotting right where. And I'm just going to keep my eye on these ones to see if I can, on the big screen. I don't have the grid on the big screen, so I have to look at the little and then line it up. So I'll keep one eye on that, one eye on the chat there. And LD, thank you for the follow as well. Good to have you in. Darren, thank you for the gifts again. Appreciate those. All goes back into the stream. And you've gone outside, stuff the heat. It's not even colder out there, though, is it there? And 0-0 there. I mean, they're paid enough. You would have thought they could have done better than that. And too bad my radar is not there yet. There, you would have seen them by now. Harco, I'm very much looking forward to that radar. So we're going to tell you all about that, guys. We'll have to do a little update on the setup, do the behind the scenes when that one shows up there. And Becky, it's about ghost stories around the... Oh, yes, no, I know that one. Isn't it? Is it Haunted UK, the podcast there? And his production company is Pink Flamingo or something. That's why I think it rings a bell. Yeah, I quite liked that one. I haven't listened to that in ages. I'm going to have to check back in. Becky, thank you for the reminder on that one. And Oliver as well, thank you for the follow. M to the C, good to see you there. No, hardly even a breeze. Is it worth risking it as well in the garden, though, Kate? All right, I'm going to bounce back over to the tube. So, speaking of which, TikTokers, if you're on the vertical there, you're not getting the best version of this. This is what it looks like over on the YouTube there. The camera is round the right way for one, less of my face, more of the night sky, but all sorts of other contextual analysis and data there coming in that helps us in our hunt. So at the Thing UFO, if you want to check that one out. And obviously TikTok is always throwing some sort of fit, so it's always good to have us on there as a backup there. Oh, you're in the front garden there, safe. But I bet it's nice and cold out back. Right, I'm going to bounce back over to the tubes. Where did we get to? Where do we get to in your chat, guys? I'll ask them, do you have a beer? Oh, God, in this ever there. Hey up, how are you doing? How is your day going there? And top of the day. I know, hey up. I couldn't be bothered to fight the equipment because it wouldn't do TikTok. That's where the issue we had over on doing the live stream. So we're indoors. Oh, it's all right. It's ever so slightly dropped to 93.9 degrees Fahrenheit. We've set it to American there just for the attention, the higher numbers. And England 0-0. Oh my God, there. UFO appearing would make it more exciting. This is why I don't follow it. Though I've got to admit, I did go to a match with some family this year actually, and but the first football match I've been to since a kid, and I was actually impressed by like the athletic ability of that. You know, I was like, okay, no, there's a lot more. I was very cynical, but there's a lot more to it. Still not my sort of cup of tea there, kicking the ball around the field, but I was actually impressed by it. They're shame they can't, for the prices they're paid though, actually win a match there. And people look to Mars and the moon for NHI, but that could be by design to take our eyes away from Venus, the cloud planet there. Beneath those clouds could be cities, NHI, etc. Well, I mean, this is a very interesting angle. So Venus is a closer analogue to Earth than Mars is. So Venus is like a 95% fit to Earth. Obviously it's not even as far as Mars. Oh, it's going the other direction, but it's closer to Earth there. You know, rocky, and a lot of similarities to Earth are there. Obviously, I think to the best of our current scientific knowledge is that it is a bit of a hellhole. You know, it's got the greenhouse effect, a very thick atmosphere that retains the heat. So the actual surface of Venus is ridiculously high pressured, if we believe them, and ridiculously hot. Acid rains diamonds as well. It's like a hell on Earth, apparently, Venus there. But they have detected, or they think they have detected, gases in the clouds of Venus there, which, as far as we know, can only be made by biological life. So the clouds of Venus are actually very Earth-like. That's, you know, similar sort of temperatures and all that sort of stuff when they're up in the clouds. So bacteria could, in theory, survive up there. And there has been rumours that some of those few pictures that the Russian landers took, was it in the 80s or the 70s? That you can even possibly see a crustacean-based life, so maybe something did evolve to survive under those intense pressures. If it was Earth life, maybe it did have life before. I mean, look at Mars. Again, we've got those positive, at least bacterial life being active there. The clouds of Venus, again, it's contested, but it could be there. 3 planets in a row. I think, especially as we know that Mars was habitable, it was very, very Earth-like about a few billion years ago, wasn't it? And actually more habitable before Earth, so maybe Venus was too. Maybe we've chopped and changed life in between all of them over the years. I think, yeah, our inner solar system history is going to be more interesting than they led us to believe. It is a bit on the warmer side there. Rather boiling. It is, 97.4. And record-setting heat in France. I heard that one actually today. Yeah, the roads are melting. Any excuse for a day off. But no, it's a little bit on the warmer side. Where did we get to there? Thank you, Morwick. How are you doing there? And what's that? 2 women followed me in for photographs with Bill Shatner dressed as pink flamingos. I wonder if they were connected. Just don't act conspicuous. Did they sneak in? Did they bypass the queue? I wouldn't have that flamingo or not. And who is in the house? Ah, hello. Haven't seen you over there for a while, X. And outside is awful. I am in my aircon bedroom. Oh, you didn't tell me you had aircon. Alan will be round in a minute. And Andrew there, you have a radar coming there. Excellent. Much love from Brexit. Thank you, Andrew. So, yeah, we've got, it's one of the flight radar ones. So it's not like actually we're sending the signals out to get an active radar. It's a passive one, but it would be really, really cool. So it's actually like an old-fashioned little, the radar scope style, and it brings in the information from, whether it is a TSB or, flight radar. So just at a glance, we can see if there is anything overhead that is going to be, you know, on our screen. So rather than having to look up flight radar, we go, oh no, there's a plane that's in range and it's to the north. It's going to be that one with the information. So that's been very kindly made by one of an awesome member of our community there, Harko, who's also made us some other gadgets that help us with our streams in the past. So we definitely appreciate it. And raise your hand if you are a grey Nordic hybrid or red. Oh damn, it caught me again there, X. And it's too hot to work. Way too hot to be in the room full of screens. I was on a train in a field for 2 hours earlier, like that, with everyone, because they'd cancelled the other trains. That was no aircon on the train as well. I thought I've either died already. So like that's just, if I could survive that, this will be all right. Oh, 98.2. Are we going to break the 100? Oh yes, 101. Oh, ding ding ding. 10 points. 101 Fahrenheit. Right, let's go back to the rest of the world measure. Go to real numbers. I've just gone right the way down now, 34.8. Maybe it's having a sulk. 101 there, and that's our record. And greetings from Aberdeen there, very warm at 17 degrees. Oh, what's my humidity? 54%. It's all the sweat coming off me there. 17 degrees. I'd kill for that, Daniel. I'd kill for that. 34.8 in this room. Where are we? Arranged diamonds there. Don't tell the wife there. Hell, weather will stop her. This is the thing, isn't it? Like somebody mentioned just an off-the-cuff line I heard once. Some scientist talking about things, and it got, you know what? I'd never thought about this before. But you know, we treat diamond. We know there's a bit of a scam going on. We know diamonds aren't as rare as you know, the jewelry, big jewelry will lead you to believe. We know it's a little bit of a scam there, but you know, they're still treated as a sort of a precious commodity. But as far as we know, the most precious commodity in the galaxy could be wood. As far as we know, trees are only here on Earth. You know, maybe that's the rarest thing. Maybe that's what the aliens are here for. They love a wooden bedpost. That's okay. Core memories just come back then. That's a story for another day. But yeah, maybe it's wood is the raw material there that they're after. Kind of like in Egypt as well. They didn't really grow their own trees in Egypt because of the climate there. They had to import the cedars of Lebanon, didn't they? So they were quite a high-priced commodity. Which is still a shame there is that many people don't believe in UFOs and ghosts there. I feel the same. I think for me it's always been a positive thing. I mean, I've not lived in a terrifyingly haunted house or anything like that, so I've, you know, the pleasure of that part of the phenomenon. But for me, it's always represented the possibility, the wonder of what could be out there, how strange reality could be, the vibrancy of it there. That's how I've always felt about it, and thought I should come to see how the dark side live. It's the Cool Kids Club, X. They did queue. Okay, that's fair enough there, as long as the flamingos know how to queue. Wonderful new additions there. Thank you for that. And Andrew, no, thank you for that as well. And thank you to Harko for making it there. All the little things that we can help. I mean, can you believe we used to do this like a year ago? We've just gone past our year anniversary. We did this on one laptop. And I do get carried away with gadgets, but yeah, now it is mission control. We should have the behind the scenes video for you guys to check out. It's free to view on the Patreon. I don't think you have to be a member to see it on there, but I think we've got a version on the YouTube. They need to be updated, but it does look, there's more screens than NASA here. I could definitely use a second pair of hands other than Alan's there. Living Light, how are you doing there? May we have an out of this world night, hopefully, and hopefully it's going to get a bit cooler, because 35 there. Oh, hey up! I didn't have the strength left in me to lose my shit. Stuck in a field. Oh, yeah, it was a nightmare. And then getting home was a pain in the ass. And then, probably, it was even hot when we got off the train. I was like, oh my god, it was awful. But you know me, I'm not one to complain. I'm very modest and what's the word? Either way, there. Oh, C2 Emilio, a good spot. Oh, there we go. Getting some action now. 1, 2, 3, 4. I saw one over here a second ago. 5. There you go. We get 6. Yeah, we're getting the contrast now. Remember, we need to follow these things across the screen there. That's a faint. No, that's a bit of a brighter one.
Zoom mode.
Things
activated.
like this. We need to follow them, all of them, right the way. Even if they've just moved boringly in a straight line at a consistent speed, follow them whilst they are on screen, because it only takes that last minute hesitation there. We need to see them stop dead, change their course or trajectory there, speed up, slow down, something like that proves to us that it is something stranger than a man-made satellite or space junk up there. Again, still got a bit of blue to go, so this is not the full quality yet. Oh, that's a nice bright one there coming in. So lots of things to be seen tonight, I think, there. And last night, Andrew, I saw a few UFOs travelling north-northwest and south-southeast around 10 p.m. above my head. Something should happen everywhere in the Northern Hemisphere, 10 to 11 p.m. Very interesting. It feels like the phenomena, sightings in general, are picking up. It really, really does feel like that. I thought observation bias at first, but I think I'm changing my tune on that now. I do think there is something going on there. And YouTube screen is way better, but it's a lagging terrible. Is it lagging? Is it? How is it for you guys there? Normally it's a better connection, but some people do have the issues. I do prefer the YouTube screen there. We are, I think one of the computers in here is trying to do an update or something, because it is spiking up every now and again when it shouldn't. Right, going to bounce back over to the TikTok. Where did we get with you guys? Got to Oliver in, didn't we? Where are you joining us from tonight there, Oliver? Thank you for the likes. Guys, if you are joining us, we're doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch. And we're coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK. Right in the heart of Crop Circle Country and just down the road from Stonehenge. Lots of strange things in the skies tonight. Help us spot to them. Call out the grid references, and if it's anomalous enough, the mods will highlight the interactive grid there, and I will see it hopefully closer to real time so we can zoom in on it. This is a nice bright one.
Zoom mode activated.
Remember, we need to see it stop dead, shoot off at speed to change its course or trajectory. It might well be anomalous. It might be ET flying from A to B, but we can't tell from down here unless it does that strange movement there, that strange behaviour. That is the only way for sure that we, with the equipment that we have anyway, that we can be confident there. Coloration and flashing are also of interest, but they're not quite as slam dunk. So yeah, do keep spotting there. And did a PM with screenshot of what I was buzzing around. Oh, I'll have to have a check the hardcore. Where I was stuck on the train, I've just been so out of it today, but I will catch up soon there. And instead, I just have some dude walking past chuckling to himself. It's not unnerving at all. What's that one? Oh, I have a front... Oh, there you go, front side. And backside garden starts getting sketchy down the side, so I'm not even facing it. Where do you live? It's starting to sound like Beirut. Okay, can't be that bad. Always a risk. Stu there, how are you doing there? The country needs a city. Oh my God, it does. It does. I'm starting to come over to the American way of life. Look, over here in the UK, we're a little bit cynical of our American cousins there. You know, yeah, lads, you're young. But the older I get, the more I can appreciate the freedom, especially how things are. I hear the eagles screech every time I'm taxed for something extra. I can relate to the Americans there. So I'd definitely like to adopt that. And the air conditioning. They're things that we could export. Ben, I think we need more scientific research into ghosts. Ben, 100%. I really would. I would like to do that. The problem is, it wouldn't make for good TV. That is the downside, because it's slow, repetitive stuff. Science isn't necessarily that sexy, but we do need it. And I think there is. I would love, and I'm sure other people have done this, right? But in our modern age, to rent a haunted house for like a year or 6 months, right? Just to have access to it, controlled environment, you know, try and get those repeated measurements, understand why they are, you know, not necessarily consistent there. I've got some ideas. I would love to do it. And as you can imagine, I've already set up the streaming side of it. I just need to find a haunted house, which is my next project there. And the hedgehog has joined you. Aw, that's cute. A little bit of animal interaction. But is it really a hedgehog there? Oh, coming nearby, Harko, what was it? And Frenchie, I need to send a photo that I took last year of something I can't explain, but I don't know where to. Oh, Frenchie, we would love to see that one. So this goes to everybody, but especially you, Frenchie, there. Link in bio, we have a Discord, which is like an old school forum come messaging app thing. So it's our little community one there. Totally free, of course. Lots of interesting channels, they call them there. But we've got a personal experiences channel section there, which is full of your guys' accounts with the phenomena. Images and videos too. You can tell it there. It stays there for the whole time, and then all of the community get to read through it there as well. It doesn't just disappear after the stream. So if you want to join and post it in there, 100% would love to see it there. We also have probably got an email somewhere, address hiding somewhere. I think it's in the YouTube description to send things in. But if it's on the Discord, the whole community gets to see it there. So everybody's welcome. You're welcome to add your pictures or just read through them there. We've got the interesting things, you know, lots of stuff on Free Eye Atlas there, all of the latest. If we see an interesting podcast, we put it in there. Good little community. But we also do an alien themed movie club, and it is coming up. It's going to be this Friday, guys. I haven't set the time because I need to, probably will be slightly earlier, probably about 8:30 or 9 again, somewhere around like that time that we're going to sit down. So our movie club is basically we all vote on an alien-themed movie, and then we press play at the same time last Friday of the month and just chat along in the Discord. So I think this movie is Alien Autopsy on Amazon Prime. So again, you're all welcome to join us there. You have to watch it on your own Amazon Prime, but we press play at the time on the dot there and we just chat along. It gets very unhinged. It's a good film. But yeah, and after that we'll be voting on the next one there, so you're all welcome to join. Even if you're a lurker and you're quiet, you're all welcome to hang out there as well. Oh yeah, Carl, you said it was, I haven't had a chance to check on that one today, but thank you for trying again, Carl. I'm going to really have to, I wonder why that is there. And it's actually quite a nice tree-lined street. Hey, the tree-lined streets, they are. And you could, in Essex, you could tell how rough an area was by how many trees. It was a really, really good rule of fun. Wasn't that fun? Rule of thumb there, especially for Southend there, because it's the Victorian terraces row after row. You'd go, no trees, no trees, no trees. No trees, but they do have old fridges hanging out front. Trees, that's all right. Not quite an avenue there. Adam, how are you doing there? God, it is hot. It is very hot, 35.3 degrees. It's over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, I think that we checked earlier. And the sky looks crystal clear tonight there, and I can see the difference in the camera feed. I appreciate it. Honestly, some nights we get it and it is amazing there. We've still got a little bit of blue to go before we get the full contrast in, but there are some movement there. We've got a little bit there. In fact, let's zoom in on that.
Zoom mode activated.
Remember, guys, it's this sort of thing here. You need to spot it, follow it with your eyes, and then let us know if it stops dead, shoots off at speed, changes its course or trajectory. Flashes, colour is well of interest, but there'll be lots of them. 15,000 or so man-made satellites up there. So statistically, that is what most of it is going to be. And what's happening is they don't have headlights on them. We're not, you know, like a car headlight seeing it there. They don't emit light. They just reflect the light back. And forget my little props here. Be it a man-made satellite or be it ET flying from A to B, they're all going to be flying up there, reflecting that light back down to us here on Earth there. Now, we are, the way that we need to, that we can slam dunk say that it is something more anomalous than a satellite is by its movement there. Does it stop dead, change its course or trajectory there, or speed? Because man-made satellites don't do those sorts of things. That's a slam dunk. But it doesn't mean, even if it doesn't do that, it doesn't mean that it's not. It just means that we can't prove that it is, and we just have to assume that it is a satellite there. But again, these objects, these things flying around, reflecting that light back, have been seen well before man-made satellites were in orbit. There is a couple of papers out now actually looking into this and going, well, what the fuck was up there? So again, it doesn't mean that it's not alien. It just means we can't confirm it there. And it's not a black dog. And it's eating a slug, so it's a friend. I mean, that's a reasonable bar for friendship there. And Frenchie and I've been on holiday in Cornwall there, which was a very, very haunted. I love Cornwall there. Lots of childhood holidays there. Oh, that's a bright one there. And that's a fast one. Look how... Oh, it's flaring up. Is it going to flare again? Oh, it's getting quite dark. See the difference in speeds and brightnesses? So wait till you see the coloured ones come in there. But Cornwall is very, very haunted, and I love it. Always going past as you're driving into Cornwall, Jamaica in, got to stop off there. And Kate coming in with the shares. Guys, appreciate the likes, the shares, the tapping away, all of that jazz. It does help us reach more and more like-minded people there, like yourselves. I said, the more eyes and minds we get on the old phenomena, so the more we can all piece this puzzle together. But you never know who's going to come in and what part of their experiences and part of the phenomena they're going to experience and share with us. That is a thing that has changed my understanding the most about what might be going on. So, yeah. Definitely looking forward to hearing more of those accounts. So yeah, if you have had an experience, do say hello. Let us know who you're watching from and feel free to share those. Stayed in a haunted farmhouse there, dated back to the 1400s. That is crazy. The amount of history that is there, that is insane. Why is that not working for me? Let's have a look. That's very strange. Sorry, I think it's the heat is getting to the computer a bit there. And no, it's a drive, not an avenue. We're mid-posh on the estate. And you got to hold on to what you can. There. And, oh, that's a big, bright one there. Just saw a flare in real time. Awesome. Are you looking at the same part of the sky there, Kate? Right, I'm going to bounce back over to the tubes. Where did we get to with you guys? Oh, no, it's jumped ahead on me there. Where did we get to? Sorry, guys. And what equipment are you using to capture the night sky there? Dave, good question. So it's a Sony A7 is the camera, and it's got just a very good lens that lets in a lot of light. Then it's a long HDMI lead that comes into the computer, and then we add all of the wonderful graphics and things there. And it's all real. The the solar wind speed, obviously the weather and location, that does update if we ever change there. And obviously the solar wind and weather, we can bring in different data there, things that might affect the visuals of what we are seeing. Where are you joining us from there? And I am sure that our persistence is appreciated by the galactic friends. You'd hope it would go a little tick in the box for us there for when our new overlords come. They're going, you're on our side all along there. Raf, how are you doing? What's that there? So make yourself a beverage, because it is hot. It really, really is. And I'm going to have a drink. I'll take you up on that offer there, Raf. 35.4. Not sure what that is in Fahrenheit now. Maybe we've run out of digits to monitor in Fahrenheit. Emilio D2, a good spot in there. I'm sorry, I'm so far behind. I think the interactive grid playing up tonight. I have to work on that on Rock as well. And I didn't used to believe in Bigfoot until I watched the Expedition Bigfoot. And after watching all episodes, I believe in portals. And I think Alaska is definitely somewhere I would want to visit. There are a few of these places around that just got this sort of a mystical feeling. Now, wouldn't say that, here is necessarily as mystical in the same ways, but I said I moved from Essex to Wiltshire, so the city to the country basically, and Essex has its countryside, but it's quite flat, and it's just different here. There's something in the air. You can see why Glastonbury is a thing, because that's technically Somerset, but it is just next door. Why Stonehenge is here. There are all of these big stones just everywhere. There was something in the air around here. It's the female alien with the crash. What's that? How you doing, Liberty? Good to see you there. Oh, a nice fast one up here. Should we zoom in on this one?
Zoom mode activated.
Remember, stop dead, short for speed, change its course or trajectory. That will tell us for sure that it is something a little bit stranger indeed there. But guys, if you're joining us, do say hello. So let us know where you're all watching from tonight. I want to hear from you all. And you've reported on the Enigma app also. It is a good film. It is a good, and Enigma app is a very good too there. And British Knight, thank you for joining the Discord. Looking forward to seeing you over in that. I am slack. I hate typing, so I always get behind. But I do appear normally every other day going, sorry, I'm here. But there's some really good stuff on there. It's a very good community, and there's a few people in particular that put in a hell of a lot of work there, putting in all of the latest news and in very interesting stories. So it is worth keeping an eye on for those. And is that Lilac there? In 1982, the Soviet Venera 14 lander, the only photos of Venus surface there, operating for 57 minutes before extreme conditions overcame it, and the lander's planned lifespan was 32 minutes. Those things were built like tanks. That surface is just insane. They had the audio recordings from it as well, didn't they? And I mean, it looks like hell. It sounds like hell. It's a spicy place there. But those Venera probes, again, they were like diving bells, built like absolute tanks to survive that. But the Russians, they lost one, actually. They, I think they launched it from Earth there, but something went wrong before it could get into its Venus, orbit there. So they just lost it in space. But last year, some very clever boffins went, oh, what's that thing? What's that thing in orbit around here that's coming towards Earth? And they did the maths. They worked out it was the lost of, a Venera probe. And it was coming back to re-enter Earth after all of this time, 40-odd years or something like that. And there was part of me that was thinking, it was, those things were built to last. And you get zombie satellites, don't you, from the 60s that, the solar panels catch in the right way, they fire up there. There was a chance that probe there would eventually hit our atmosphere, go, oh, we're here eventually, and all of its processes would trigger and it would deploy itself as it expected about 40 years later and on the wrong planet there, which I thought was quite a romantic thing. It's trying to complete its mission the best it could. Just a little bit later on the wrong planet. Although, because the atmosphere on Earth is nowhere near as thick as Venus, the thing would have just, the parachutes wouldn't work and it would have straight through. But it probably would have survived because they were built so, I say survived, it would have been, you wouldn't want to have hit, it wouldn't have burnt up there. But they don't actually know where it re-entered. And this is another really good point. We tend to think, don't we, guys, that, we would know if there's UFOs coming in and out of our atmosphere and all of this jazz. But no, they saw this probe coming in, and they still don't know where it re-entered. We do not have a good coverage of our atmosphere and what is coming and going there. And what's that? I hear the chat shout, why are you not using the brilliant tracker tonight, they say. Well, Raf, I'll tell you for why. Because the Brilliant Tracker is even more broken than normal, and I haven't got around to fixing it. I tried to fix it. When I fix it, I make it worse. Ever since last summer, it's just got worse, and I'm very, very frustrated by it. One day we will crack it, but I have to calm down and have a bit of a break from it. But what Raf is talking about, guys, is we have a little bit of tracking software, which is not playing ball at the minute. And what it does, it looks for movement on the screen there, so those dots that you see are moving around, like this one here. So it identifies the movement. It then tracks where it has been, and it draws a straight line from where it's been there, and then uses that straight line to project where it should go. Again, if it's a satellite, it will follow that straight course at a consistent speed, so, and it will project it in front of it, and it monitors it as it follows its predicted path. If it is a satellite and it does follow that straight line, it stays green, allowing us to go, oh, yeah, it's there, but we don't need to pay attention. If it goes red, the idea is that it's deviated in some way, and we should pay it more attention, highlighting us there. Because when we get those peaks, we have 14 or more objects on the screen at any one time. It's very hard to follow there. And oh no, I heard the chat say, oh, Raf, I know you're sad. You don't have to project through the chat. I know how much you love the tracker. I'm going to get a custom t-shirt for you there, just the tracker on it there. Going to bounce back over to the TikTok. Where did we get to? And don't know, I've got the light interference from street lights there. You got to shoot them out, Kate. That's the thing. So I'm tempted to do it with my neighbour's spotlight. I haven't yet, though. Like you say, facing southeast there. So I think we're southwest. We are, so not far off. If I spin the camera around, might be able to share the same sky. And when I was in a farmhouse in Cornwall, I had my baby monitor on, and heard a conversation. Or 95.7. So now, what's that for, Brittany? Sorry, I've totally forgotten now. French, they're very interesting. They're definitely on a different plane. You do wonder what they tune into. Radio is an interesting phenomenon. They speculate that it could, interact with more dimensions than we do. They have tried to test it. Oh, that's a nice blue one there. Look at that.
Zoom mode activated.
Okay, look at the difference in coloration to this one to the ones we have seen. How clearly blue that one is. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it is anomalous there. Their interaction, the lower they are, the more those satellites can interact with our atmosphere, and mostly Starlink is, pushing those heights as low as possible there. So it doesn't necessarily mean anomalous, but it is interesting to see. But yes, the radio could be something that just, transcends these planes. And Pradvam, I was going to remind you to check the message. Oh, excellent. I will do. It's been a hell. The heat has been getting to me today, and I was stuck on a train, and just work was hell. And I literally was late because all the trains were cancelled, and then we were stuck on one. So I got in, had dinner, set the camera up, and now we're in here. So I will at some point catch up, but behind at the minute there. 35.4. What is that in American? Let's have a look there. Oh, 96.6 Fahrenheit. 96.8. It is a toasty there, and Thomas, the aliens probably know you're watching them, so are flying normally. Well, Tom, this is the thing. We are asking for ET to realise he's left his keys at home right when we're over the camera and stop and then kind of go back. And I mean, how many times out of every, say, UFO observation are they going to do that? Like, most of the time, there's nothing to avoid up there, so they can just travel in that straight line, reflecting that sun's light back down to us here. So they're going to look exactly the same. So, it's quite a high bar to set, but it's the only way that we can be sure there. But on occasion, guys, and normally once per stream at least, we do have a couple of the odd days where it goes for a bit of a drought or something, but most of the time we will see something anomalous there. So you've got the slam dunk anomalous, which is that movement there. That is just really, that is the top tier. It's the best one. But yeah, coloration and flashing can be of interest. You'll get a feel. You'll start to see all these things coming across the screen, and you're going to go, oh, this is this looks like a normal one I'm seeing. Then some of you'll follow and you go, look, it's not doing anything strange, but it feels wrong. It feels odd. They're the ones you need to watch, you need to pay attention to. Actually, those stats in the middle of the screen are directly above my head. Stars of stats. Okay, there we go. We can now locate Kate. And Kay, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight there? And the goatee as well. Good to have you guys in. Do say hello. And I don't see the blue one over there. It might not look as blue for you, but it is one of the brighter ones there. How are you doing, Adam? And thank you for the gifts. Appreciate those guys. Gifts, the subs, the members, the patrons, all that jazz does go back into the stream, helping us improve what we do. We're currently saving up to take the show on the road. Occasionally we do take the Skywatch rig up to the old Iron Age hill forts that surround the town, and might be why the town has such a history with the phenomena, with the weird and wonderful there. But yeah, we take the show on the road, and we want to do an international, well, we do want to do international, but that's a long way away. We want to do a UK road trip or hotspots. We're saving up at the minute to go to
Zoom mode
Rendlesham Forest, the location of where the crash/landing may have happened in the 80s there. One of the best accounts we have here in the UK, like individual UFO encounters. There's another blue one there. So I zoom back out. Keep your eyes on it, even if I'm zoomed back out. Remember, we need to follow them, even if they're acting straight. Only takes that last minute hesitation. They're stopping dead, shooting off at speed, changing the course or trajectory. If you've been in for the whole stream there, you'll see, look, it's gone dark now, where it was lovely and blue earlier. This means the sun has now gone properly round, and we are able to get a much better contrast on the night sky. Should be able to help us see a little bit more. And so the bright ones you can check out for when you get a really proper bright one there. And Adam coming in with the shares as well, guys. I appreciate that. It is the likes, the shares, tapping away, all of that jazz that helps us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves. So the more eyes and minds we get on the old phenomena, the better there, the more we can all piece this puzzle together. And wanted to know if it looks blue there. I know it wouldn't, but still, I don't know, it might have a bit of a hue to it. You've got your new eyes, Kate, you never know. And I think we operate on a different plane than anything that is above or below us. I think our understanding of whatever reality is going to be so limited. We might have a semi-functional understanding of what we experience, but as you say, above and below that, that's fair game. You know, we have only measured down to whatever level. The Planck length, I think, is the smallest possible measurement, and that is, you know, incredibly tiny. Like it's ridiculously small. I can't even give you examples down there. But we don't really know how those things work. You know, we don't fully know how the quantum world works. And again, that is. You'd think just going smaller, things would act the same, but they don't. They have their own rules that they follow. The reality isn't reality when you get to smaller scales, so why not at the larger scales there? Why not 2x smaller? There's lots of opportunity for things to be a little bit stranger indeed. There. And not a satellite exactly, Goatee. Love that. I love that you found the stickers there. I do love those stickers. And I'd have to go into the dreaded back to see that one. And Max, how are you doing there? Oh, from the Czech Republic. And I can see too that this is on the night sky every day. It is. It very much is. We are on every day, guys. So do make sure you are following and subscribed. Get those notifications when we go live. As I said, this is our live UFO Skywatch right from the heart of Crop Circle Country, just down the road from Stonehenge. See lots of weird things in the night sky. We're going to be on a lot this week because the weather is good. It's going to be nice and clear. I want to make the most of that one. But when it does turn cloudy, we do this. It's an alien radio signal hunt, kind of like the film Contact there, or that recent Apple TV series Pluribus. We're listening out through with a big dish there, hoping to hear a message from an extraterrestrial civilization. Or if the moon's up and I can be bothered, and this not happened in a while, guys, I'm going to be honest, but we will do it again at some point. We do a moon watch. That's what it looks like. We see all the craters, all the details there, and talk about some of those weird sightings that have been seen on, off, and around the moon. We've had some interesting sightings on the moon ourselves as well that we can claim to. Back as well, thank you for the gifts, that it all goes back into the stream. And has anyone experienced ghosts or orbs, Frenchie? So, I think we've seen like an orange orb on the screen, so like the more UFO-y angle of the orb. But the ghost side of things, I'd had a few spookier experiences when I was younger. And that was, I suppose, my entry point into the strange and anomalous. But I hadn't had a UFO experience, and that was one of the big motivations for actually doing this stream, to see if the phenomena was still going on here in this little town. And I think it is there. But yeah, I hadn't had it until we started doing this one there. Camera actually catches a pretty big field of view. It's not bad. And I am looking, Kate, at another lens, which I can't afford at the minute, that would be slightly wider. But it's always a trade-off. Obviously, the more of the sky we get in, the smaller each individual point is then. And I think, would we then miss out on the movement? I don't know yet, but I would like to try. But it is always an expensive test, because I've just bought that lens, and no, I preferred the old one, because when I upgraded to this lens, all you buggers went, no, I prefer the old lens. We stuck with this lens. As Raf says, it's my ball. I'm not going to take it back with me. and nobody can tell me what it is there, backs there, and I can see it from year 2024. Well, let me go through that one. I can see it too. Oh, so is it this one? Because that one's very, very bright, or is it one of the moving ones back there? So this one, guys, this is
zoom mode activated.
Vega, a beautiful bright star here, about 26 light years. Oh shit, I've gone too far. Hold on. Let's zoom back in. About 26 light years from us here on Earth there. Now, that star is much bigger than our sun, but essentially the same sort of thing. It burns much hotter and much brighter, so it won't last as long. Probably hasn't been around long enough to have its own planets formed around it. I don't know if it will last ultimately long enough for that, but bigger, bright, burning star. I mean, it's crazy to think, look at the colours there, like the reds, the purples, the blues, the oranges. You know, it is so pretty up there in the night sky. But these are all other stars like our sun. Again, different range of size, brightnesses, what they're burning us, but fusion reaction in the sky. And now we are starting to get the technology. We can start to detect if they've got planets orbiting around them, which is crazy to think that we're able to do that all the way from here. But yeah, and what we're seeing is that where we're looking, they've got planets, guys, which means life is a statistical guarantee, basically. Now, is it intelligent? Is it traveling to us? That's the question science won't fully go to just yet, but I think they will. Some more movement down the bottom here. Let me catch up with us over on TikTok, then I'll bounce back to the tubes. You've experienced both their friendship. Literally, I've only seen the stuff on screen. There was one time when we were on location, which I might have been in that. But I think whatever it is of the rules or the gaps in our understanding might be a better way to envision this. That explain one will probably be the ways that explains the other as well. It doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, ghosts are literally aliens or whatever there, but the rules that allow them to fall through the cracks of our mainstream explanation probably going to be very similar indeed. There is an overlap. Again, if you're interested in the UFO stuff, it's quite a strong overlap that you're interested in the spooky stuff too, but not 100%. There are some people that are definitely just in for the UFOs, and that's cool. I do want to experiment a bit more in the spookier stuff as well at some point. I saw that, yeah. I'm seeing some of the ones I'm seeing on the screen. It's my view. It's just a much bigger. It's good that you can still see them with the light, though. And Joseph, how are you doing? How have you been? How are you enjoying the heat? I'm not. And where are we with those as well? Back's Adam there, and Joseph, thank you for the gifts. All goes back into the stream. 96.7 degrees Fahrenheit. What's that in Celsius, in normal people numbers? It's not 54 degrees, 35.5. This is a warm room. Things I suffer for my art, guys. Right, going to go back over to the tubes now. And you've seen the alien mothership over, I can't pronounce that one, with all the hundreds of UFOs flying out of it. No, I've not seen that one yet. I haven't, to be fair, checked any messages though, so somebody's probably sent it to me, but the last 2 days it has been too hot. And the plank length is, oh my god, 1.6 x 10 something else there meters there, and I think that means a lot of zeros there. And the act of observation changes reality, as in the double slit experiment. Peter 100% right, it gets weird. And so, you know, Pete, our skeptical friend, very intelligent guy. He's a engineer, very, very smart as well, but he's very skeptical, very likes his science and the explanation there, but he hadn't even heard of the quantum physics, basically. And like he almost wouldn't believe it. He thought it was another conspiracy theory, because that is, but it's mainstream accepted science. Now, I don't think we've got a good understanding of it. I think why it still seems a lot like magic is because we're just poking around the edges of it still. But that's how crazy it is that, you know, to people that are skeptical, go, no, I don't believe in that. But it's accepted science. They spend billions on studying it there, and you know, and this is still just our best bets with the tools that we have now. And have you thought, there is it, McFloyd, have you thought of going to Bonnybridge in Scotland for your tour? And I remember it being a UFO hotspot and very strange goings. 100%, you are right bang on the money there, Mac. So yeah, Bonnybridge, yeah, the Falkirk Triangle there, but Bonnybridge in particular is on our list, actually. I think we want to do Bonnybridge and Loch Ness as well, because I haven't been to Loch Ness. I know it's not necessarily UFOs, but we can do a skywatch from Loch Ness. That would be pretty cool. Go to AUP's family home on Loch Ness. But yeah, so we definitely do want to do it. I mean, it's a case of practicality at the second, but we'll get there soon enough. We're hoping to do Rendlesham Forest first, but we've got a few places over the UK. So if you want to join our Discord, guys, and add any lists to the on the road section there, just dump any of the places you think will be good locations. I can't. Where is my list? Did I ever save that as an image? Did I have any? Did I have the foresight to save the list of locations? No, I didn't. It'll be somewhere, so I can't share with you the ones we've got provisionally now, but it was a good list. And the Netherlands in 2026 is the year of lots of snow and the northern lights visible with the naked eye, high temperatures and heavy thunderstorms and lots of UFO reports. Oh, so do you think there's a correlation there between those natural events? There maybe it's... Because this was the thing, is it Starlink's got the, I don't pronounce it wrong, that's got the orbs, basically, the lights, which I think is possibly sentient plasma there, which would make you think, wouldn't it, that could be connected to, you know, the energy in the atmosphere, that could be connected to the weather events and things. Maybe it encourages them, maybe it's more favourable weather for them. And just watch the Soviet lander Venus photos and the recorded sound. It's amazing. You hear the drill from the lander. Boot up and start drilling there. I want to send a probe to the waters of Neptune. There's one of them that's on their way. Is it not? It's not to Neptune, is it? But it's to Europa. That's got a mission on its way, isn't it? There. And suspiciously enough, it's not got life-finding tests on it yet. They're always scared to do that. The one time NASA did put life find specifically to detect for life on their probes. There's 2 probes in the 70s, both times detected it positive, and they went, oh yeah, we better not put those probes on again. Get too many questions when you get a positive result. I think it's going to be absolutely abundant up there. Right, back over to the TikTok there. Adam, thank you for the gifts. Appreciate those. It all goes back into the stream. Speaking of which, as well, look, we got some snazzy merch there. If you want to see a nice Skywatcher t-shirt. In fact, actually, does it work today? There we go. The merch works there. So I should have a link in bios for that one, or shop.thethingufo.live. I actually love the designs. I'm not a t-shirt wearer, but I found myself wearing all of the sample ones. Quite a lot there. But the best thing about this is not only are they cool t-shirts, but we've got this. I wonder if Carl, your image should be in on this one tonight. So this is the merch showcase. It's just got me, but there should be an image of Carl as well there. So when you buy it and you take a picture of yourself in it, ideally on location somewhere as well, it doesn't seem to have updated, sorry Carl. Yeah, when you post that in the merch showcase section on the Discord, it should automatically bring it in so we can see what you guys have been up to wearing all of the things there. I will give it a kick later. It'll be on for tomorrow. But yeah, where did we get to? It's too hot for me. I'm off to Mercury to call life. Joseph, honestly, it is ridiculous, isn't it, at the minute there. And Adam there, melting is going to be 38.3 on Wednesday and Thursday. Oh, God knows what that's going to be in here. If we're doing 35.4 right now, what's that going to be after a day or two tomorrow? It is not good. It is not good. And provide, hey mate, what new lens are you looking at again? Oh, that one I do have a name for, but I can't remember off the top of my head. So it is, and I don't know if it's going to be a good one because I haven't tested it. That's the thing. It might be too wide, and therefore things might be too. I always have it on my. Never leaves my wish list. Where is it? It is the weirdest eBay watch list you've ever seen, guys. It is. Oh, here's one I heard was good. I've seen some footage with it. I wasn't going to go for this route myself there, but if you're interested in lenses, the SIR UI Nightwalker 16mm to 75mm, and it's a T1, it's a cinema lens. But I've seen some good images for that. I haven't tried it, but that was one that I was looking at. And don't tell me it's eventually gone off my wish list. Come on. Oh, I can't find it. I'll have to dig it out at some point there for you, mate. And Adam coming in with the shares. M to the seat, loving stickers. And is that Chloe? Thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight then? And UFO Watch, count me in. Exactly. You found your tribe here on the weird corner of the internet. We're live pretty much every night, looking out for the strange and anomalous in the night sky. So we're coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge. So we do see lots of strange things. Oh, got some movement down there. Can I catch it? No, it's just gone off the screen. Let me turn the brightness up. Oh, look, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 converging here at the second. Is this that triangle formation again? Let's have a look. Let's see if this one maintains its
zoom mode activated.
Maintains its formation, or if they do slowly start to separate there. Very, very interesting. So what we need to see is these objects stop dead, surefoot speed, change their course or trajectory. That tells us for sure that it is not a man-made object. It is something a little bit stranger. Yeah, that one seems to be... sorry, guys. Zoom back out. That seems to be holding its shape, doesn't it, there? That could be the gravitational wave detector that is up there, which is pretty cool to spot as well. But yeah, we're on pretty much every night, guys, so make sure you're following or subscribed because you'll get those notifications when we go live. Cloudy nights, though, it's alien radio signal hunt time. Oh, Manchester there. Absolutely melting. I do like a bit of Manchester, but God, city in this heat, I don't think I could do it. I was in Bristol earlier, and that was warm enough there. That was killer. This room is currently 35.6 degrees. Oh, suffering for the art tonight, guys. But yeah, have you ever seen anything strange yourself there? Where did we get to over in the tubes? Where did we get to? And Paul is in there. And what is the new lens? Oh, no, I did that one. Sorry there. And where did we get to in the chat there? I remember the disappointment of our Beagle land. Yes. That's such a shame, isn't it, there? But hopefully we're on the cusp. You know, the space world seems to have heated up lately. You know, more money going in, more people looking to the night sky. I mean, it almost fizzled out, really, hadn't it? There was just a little bit of commercial satellite operations there. You know, but it has been fully reinvigorated there. So we might be on the cusp of the modern space era there. You know, the future, the Jetsons' future. We were all promised. What do you reckon there? Manchester here, there, Dave. And internal temperature at night is oppressive. Oh my God, yeah, all the heat there that is just stored. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't like to be there, although I don't really like being in this room in a minute. Oh, you haven't there, and I think I'd freak out by that. I'm exactly the same there, Chloe. So I'm a bit Scooby-Doo. I'm compelled, I'm curious, I want to know, I want to see it, and I get myself into trouble. And thank you for the gift there, appreciate that. All goes back into the stream. But yeah, compelled to end up, you know, hunting and doing this sort of stuff with it. But having an experience bang in front of your face when I've not got the luxury of you know, feeling a bit detached. The camera's live, it's in my garden, 10 metres in front of me, but I feel very detached, you know, in this room. There, but we occasionally take the show on the road. We go up locally the Iron Age hill forts that surround the town, where there's historically been a hell of a lot of sightings. And we was up there last Thursday night, and we take you with us. We've got the little streaming rig there. It's a fun stream, but there's always something that spooks me, and you guys ribbed the hell out of me. This time, the thing that actually scared me wasn't anomalous, although I've had a weird sighting up there once, but what got us this time was the cows. We got chased off by a herd of cows at midnight. There, Brittany, do you have any clips of them stopping or changing direction? So we've got our good clips somewhere in the TikTok there. Problem is, TikTok went through a phase of auto-posting gifts and stuff, so there's a lot of shite on that page. I need to clear it up. We've got one pinned, which is it's not the movement, it's the big bright coloured object, which was cool. But yeah, I'm trying to think. We've got we had a triangular formation once, just like that, but it was blocking out the stars as it went, but so that could have been a craft. That should be in there. That was an early one. I'm trying to think what we've got in there. Oh, look at these green ones.
Zoom mode activated.
I need to get better with the clipping. It's on my to-do list. See, these got a bit of a green tinge to them there. Again, not necessarily anomalous. The slam dunk is that movement that we need to see there. And AI, how are you doing there? There, or there. I'm dyslexic, so each one of those is probably correct and or wrong. And look, to say that, look, I've actually got a mug with the correct there, and yours, and yours, and yours. there. Where are we? There, Carl. Where did we go to here? And Sam, you're so brave to stay focused in on this heat, and the ice cubes in my drink have already melted. I wouldn't say hero, but you know, I've got no self-control, and I want to do this, and I will do it to the detriment to my health, and then complain about it later. It's just stupidity more than everything. And what equipment do you use to capture the video of the night sky? It's just sort of a gaming capture card, you know, just taking a video source into the computer. That's all it is. It is quite simple to do this one. The problem is doing a Skywatch in the UK was never a good idea, mostly because we get a lot of cloud cover.
Zoom mode activated.
And that's where the SETI streams come from. There we go, look at that, nice big, compared to how faint that one is. Look at the size difference in those. Nothing anomalous tonight. Well, I think we'd already had a couple of anomalies by this time the other night, hadn't we? Another green one coming down there. Faint one there, faint one there. See, this is cool. This is, as far as I know, somebody did have another counter to this, but you know, most constellations look nothing like what they're, you know, meant to. The crab my arse.
Zoom mode activated.
This is the coat hanger constellation. Look at that line. It actually looks like a bloody coat hanger. Absolutely stunning. I think the moon must be up a little bit there, because normally we can see a little bit more colour to these stars. Should we spin it around, see what else is going on in the night sky there? How are we doing, Treesaw? And has anyone ever seen, what's that, Holton Arps? My eyes tonight there. Atlas of Peculiar Galaxies. It defies standard classification, such as colliding pairs, galactic jets, and warped rings. Oh, I haven't, but what was it out today? It was somebody who was arguing about, you know, dark energy, basically, that, you know, they'd observed these galaxies, which they thought were acting strange, and therefore they needed dark energy to explain that one. We got a flasher.
Zoom mode activated.
And they were disproving that. So I told you guys, dark energy is bullshit. If a scientist says dark, it means, oh, that was a bright one. Let's look. Does that, is it on a regular cadence, that flash? Because if it's not, that is interesting. Oh, so bright one, medium one, low one, medium one, medium one, low one. That is, I think that's a variable flash. So that is very interesting. I'm going to zoom out. Oh, no, zooming in. Keep your eyes on it. Fucking thing. Where'd it go? There it is. It's just about here. So what's happening by the mainstream explanation there is, oh, that was another bright flash. That is variable to getting those random bright ones. So this is very interesting. I'm going to zoom back in on it. So, oh, yeah, that's a nice bright one. So what's happening is that object that is up there is reflecting the sun's light back down to us here. But obviously where it's giving us the flash is so flash, no flash, flash, no flash. So it's rotating as it's moving there. Now, man-made satellites can definitely, you know, rotate and flash, but the modern ones are designed to be pointing in one direction. So if they're a Starlink satellite there, communications, those antennae are meant to be pointing down to the ground, so they can do their job. So if it is rotating, it's probably buggered, it's not doing its job there. But the most interesting point is that if it is a man-made satellite up there flashing, it's going to have a predictable pattern of flashing because it's going to be rotating. There's no friction, so that rotation rate will stay pretty much the same, and the shape of each side and the reflectivity of each side will be the same, so you can, you know, basically monitor what that flash pattern was, and it should basically stay the same. Brightness might vary a bit, but over the time overall to faintness rather than in amongst it there. So that was anomalous.
Anomalous object confirmed.
It's not slam dunk, but that for me is a good enough to say anomalous with the variable nature of that flashing. You don't see that all the time. You do see sometimes, but yeah. Very, very interesting. Right, where did we get to there? What's that emoji? I can't see that one, Carl. Oh, just something on YouTube. Excellent one, Clay. I appreciate that. Thank you. It is, I think, the more stable platform. So, guys, if you do want to check us out over there as well, that's what it looks like. So the camera is around the right way. It's not turned on its side, as we have to do to fit it vertically. Less of my face and more of the night sky, which is always a good thing there, but all sorts of extra contextual analysis helping us to see if we do get a sighting to know what's going on. But more importantly, we get thrown off less on that platform. And just like last Thursday when we were on location, TikTok didn't want to do it, so we could only do it live to the tubes there. So it's worth having at the very least as a backup, or if you're a pro, TikTok or the YouTube projected onto your wall or your big telly, and then you're in the chat on your phone, the vertical. There, Brittany, never seen one. That red, is that a star? So this one, we've got a couple of red ones. This one, see, that one makes me think this is a hot pixel. That one is so red that I think it's got to be a hot pixel there on the camera. So the same as that blue one. So if I move the camera now around, if they stay in the same part of the screen, duff pixel. If they move like all the other stars do, then we'll know it was real. Right, going to move the camera. Oh, yeah, there we go. That shows you. Oh, we've got a few dead pixels. Hold on. We've got a white dead pixel. This is weird. Right, let's go back the other way. Oh, it's not even going as fast now. Yeah, I've got a few. There's always something to be going wrong, guys. Let's see what's going on in this patch of sky tonight. Where did we get to? And how are we doing? Living light as well there. And I thought I saw a UFO last night, 2 a.m, lights on the clouds, and it was a power company tracing a line, and it shook you. It does. I get why people, you know, mistake things for UFOs. Like, I've done it a few times myself. When you do start to pay attention, you do end up noticing more things that you just never saw before. You go, wait a minute, what the fuck's that? So definitely, I could definitely imagine that. So they were tracing the lights. How do they do that? Do they actually just, like, you know, helicopter with a torch on it, or maybe people on the ground with torches? How do they do that then? That is pretty cool there. And I think scientists are making up to secure next year's. Oh, they 100% do. They 100% do. It's become a game within of itself. You know, pumping out papers just to get citations, just to get, you know, approved for funding. You know, this circular thing, it's gamified itself. It's something as humanity we've not figured out. When structures get to a certain size, efficiency drops to you know, the square root, basically. It's a tiny amount there, and it happens, you know, it happens in the stock markets. That was initially put together so, you know, people could fund businesses that they thought were good and were making good products, and that business then would have the money to invest and to grow. There was a use to it. Now it's just a gamble. I mean, just look at politics. Now you get politicians that, you know, come straight out of university after studying politics, straight into some form of, you know, civil service role, and then into the government, and, you know, have never touched the outside world at all, but they speak politics. It's become its own game. Oh my god, it's hot. Tis warm, guys. Oh, where do we get to over there? Good spot there, living light, and Chloe's over there. Good to see you. Much better viewing, I think so. And UFOs are UFOs use landing lights. Lights sure do. I mean, they may do. I thought it was really interesting. There are lots of theories around how these craft may be propelled. You know, what's their equivalent of the old engine? A few theories on this one. And again, without getting hands-on, we are not going to know for sure ourselves. Excuse me. But one paper that I thought was absolutely fascinating, and they weren't even trying to actually look at the UFO phenomenon at all. It was something to do with how ionized particles can, you know, reduce gravity, or some sort of weird science shit. And they were modeling this weird effect, and then they were trying to figure out what was the most optimum shape to maximize this weird effect. And when they modeled it in the computer, it was a classic fucking saucer shape. You know, you go, okay, that might be pointing towards what's going on there. And I think with that propulsion, what would happen would be that the craft itself would get a layer of plasma over it, kind of like if you go supersonic in a normal aircraft there, that actually creates plasma in front of the nose cones. You're going so fast, it's a weird effect. But yeah, that would happen to the craft, be covered in plasma, and because of all the other processes there, it'd be ionized, so it'd be glowing orange plasma. So maybe when we're seeing those glowing objects, and there's been a few really interesting footage that's been captured there, where it does seem to be glowing saucer-shaped glass in orange, exactly what we'd expect. But the warp drive, I think, is my favourite. And again, there are signs that may be actually being used. Sounds very Star Trek, doesn't it? Or Star Trek, very warp drivey there. Very Star Trek-y, the warp drive. But wormholes too does not break physics. Some actual mathematicians have looked into this, and proper big-brained boffins. Mikhail Alcubierre, I think in the 90s, did this, looked into it and went, yep, you can do it. Does not break physics to the best of our understandings. You just need a hell of a lot of energy. But recently, some other scientists went in and basically said, okay, right, we know it works, but how does it work? What would that look like to observe a craft using warp drive? Well, creating a bubble of space and time around yourself, like a mini universe within a universe. So you're not interacting with the outside universe, you know, so you're not going to be affected by temperature, pressure, you know, you're not going fast. In fact, you're not moving, the universe is. So it's the workaround for the speed of light limitation. The universe itself is moving, not you within it. So you can travel faster than light, technically, with those means. It just needs a hell of a lot of energy. A little flash down here, not sure if that was a sensor issue. But yeah, it takes a hell of a lot of energy. But yeah, if that craft was being used, what would it look like? Well, the glowing was a bit of a trick there. Misting as well, because as those two atmospheres interact, the bubble versus the when you come out of it, basically, something to do with the pressure there. It basically creates mist. And a lot of those photographs of UFOs, they look blurry. You can actually see ones with like mist clouds around them. They've actually plotted it, but also the distortion of the image. The gravity would be lensing the light there, would be distorting it slightly. So you'd expect in the motion of travel, the forward, you would be stretched out and then compressed at the back. And you're actually seeing this on some classic UFO shots. There's a lot of information that could point to that, or what maybe that they are using. Mr. Darkside coming in with the gifts, thank you for those, and DJ Spider 2, I appreciate that. Sorry I missed those ones earlier. That took me a second to get around to you there. Where did we get to over on the tube chat? A neutrino drive. Now that could be a way. I mean, we're harnessing that. Again, they're lightly interacting particles could be there. And completely forgot I had an iPad as well. That's it. As the pro mode, multiple screens all at once. Eyes everywhere. And do you ever see the Orion project there? I felt... project crazy fat bullet looking spaceship powered by exploding nuclear bombs at its base. Yes, some of the stuff that they were coming up with in the 60s there, when they were still doing the moon development. I got a book from my school library, this is going back a long time now, there, and it was like, 5p, you can buy the book, we're getting rid of them there, and it was like this 60s book of weird space shit, and nuclear rockets were in there, and it fascinated me. I was like, what the hell are all these weird, and they had researched and they started to do the test on those engines. They do theorize they could work. The joke's on the school though, that book turned out to actually be worth quite a lot of money. There, Rock as well, D4 flashing. Are we still going to catch that one? Where are we? Where's D4? So that is one of the squares, guys, over on the TikTok. You don't get to see because of the limitations there. Not at the minute, though. I think I'm a bit too late. And when will the US government release the next UFO declassified files? The last one wasn't that impressive. Oh, Mac, I feel you there. I was generous. I'm like, look, it's a complicated process. There's going to be all sorts of internal crap. I'll see how it goes. As long as we're seeing like a slight improvement, and the delay, and then what came out wasn't as bad as I initially thought, but the cracks in my confidence are starting to show. So somebody, I think Scooby in the chat, did mention that I think it's possibly this Friday again. I don't know if we've got the confirmation on that, if they've said that it's coming out. But if they do, guys, remember, members, you'll be able to join us for our deep dives. Be on Saturday probably there before the main stream. So our deep dives are the private members and Patreons. They're where we look into either the released files, if they're fresh out, whistleblower accounts, leaked documents, images, and stuff like that. All the stuff that is mentioned, you hear all the time in the UFO documentaries. They talk about this paper, or the so-and-so report, or whatever it is. We go through, we read them all together there. We see what everybody thinks in real time. There's a little bit of a thank you to our supporters. So if you want to check that one out, it's it all goes back into stream, but we do have a free trial, gives you a month for free on the Patreon there, the link in the bio. You'll be able to catch a few deep dives, but hopefully, if there's another drop, we'll be able to catch those Saturday. If not, we are going to be looking at the Australian the Defence Department of Defence there was a document they released into their national archives, and it was referenced recently. It's basically their thoughts on the Americans and what they may be up to with the UFO stuff.
Zoom mode activated.
But it was referenced very recently by David Grush on the steps of Congress when he was kind of calling out the president for more action. Said, look, you need to look into this document. He did say a specific page. I think it was like page 7 or something. There, you need to look into that because it is highly relevant and true to his knowledge. So we're going to be reading that one together. So hopefully this weekend. And I'm sure when they handed his paper into the Harvard prof there, that was exactly the title. Some weird science shit. Yeah, exactly. No messing around. Get straight to the point there. And living like them, Sam, do you think positive groups with a long history of protecting the planet do exist, and they don't work in the shadows? Oh, scrolled ahead of me. Where is it? They don't work in the shadows of a myth, but in the light there of a real action and accountability. So, my method of belief at the minute is things that I have seen more things of and I'm warmer towards, and then there's a lot of other stuff that I've heard a little bit about, but I haven't got a lot of structure, like the details. Like I hear it referenced a bit, but I don't have a good understanding. So I don't disbelieve a lot of things. It's quite hard nowadays to get the disbelief out of me, just because the confidence that we have in what we think is real and where we don't think things are real is mostly based on what we've been exposed to. It's not an accurate representation of whatever reality actually is. So there are loads of things out there I just don't really know about. But doing this stream, I think, is literally my first exposure to it. So I'm about a year in, but I don't know a vast amount more. But I know I've had a few people coming in talking about things like star seeds is one of it. And yeah, that's sort of a Palladian connection as well with this thing. So I'm very, very interested by it. But I don't, like, you know, what I know about it on a postage stamp at the minute. So I'm very, very open to hearing it all. And they are not aliens. They are demons, Katie. Possibly. For who? For what do we all know? But again, I don't think it's going to be just one thing. This is the trick here. Like, the universe is vast. If there are aliens out there, which I heavily suspect there are, and even mainstream science in there, then there's going to be all types of aliens. You know, the phenomena that we're seeing, why does it have to be just one thing? There is such a very strange phenomenon, lots of different facets and parts. And that'd be the thing that explains those variations, as if there's multiple things going on at once. But the specifics around the angels and demons, I'm very, very open to it there. I think that, you know, as humans, well, I know as humans, how we process information is filtered through what we do know and what we expect. We can't necessarily understand or sometimes even perceive things that are there unless we have some sort of framework of understanding for them there. So we view everything through our culture of the time, to the best of our abilities, to the best of our knowledge. So it makes perfect sense to me that throughout history, the phenomena seems to be prevalent, seems to have been going absolutely gangbusters since the earliest records began, or not even technically records, but, you know, cave paintings and whatnot. So it makes sense that, you know, during times of certain religions, that is how the phenomena would be perceived. Now, is that a more accurate understanding, or is our version more accurate? I mean, I don't think ours is necessarily more accurate. Maybe it's a bit of both there. Maybe the truth is somewhere in the middle. But, you know, folklore as well. I mean, all different cultures and, you know, religions and all these things, they all seem to be describing very, very similar things. Slightly different language, maybe a different attribution here or there, a slight specific change, but very generally there's stuff going on. And we know as humans, again, we interpret a lot. We will see 1, 2 and 3 and then go 10. Right, we see a few points that confirm, and then we go 10. So we tend to fluff it out. We tend to put a lot of details in, which is fine. That's how we grow these models of the world. But I think, you know, when we're looking back in these historical accounts, there, you've got to strip the interpretation away and look at what they were potentially experiencing in its core of the observation. And do you think? No, I did that one. And for that many different creatures, you would have that many different craft. Well, exactly. Then, first of all, yeah, they're all going to have their own technology. Maybe there's a convergence in the sense that, look, to travel, there might not be many ways to travel these vast distances. You know, they might all be around. If, for example, like sailboats, you know, all the different cultures would build different boats, different capabilities, but they all looked roughly the same, didn't they, until they had engines, you know, big sail, floaty round bottoms. You know, there are variations, so maybe it's something like that when it comes to space travel, but I would imagine there's going to be a vast range out there. I mean, if we look to Earth, which is our one case study where we do have a lot of data, look at the diversity of species, of organisms, of niches, it's something for every environment there, isn't there? So why would the universe be any different? And if that's the case, they are going to be evolving to all of these variable environments there. Some that will result in positive traits from our point of view. Some may be negative. Some may be unpredictable there. Each roll of the dice to see which is favourable for that environment. And how are we doing, Captain? Good to see you. How are you doing in the heat? I am not doing gracefully there. Miss Darkside as well, thank you for the shares. Appreciate that. All goes. Appreciate that. It helps us reach more and more like-minded people there like yourselves. You never know who's going to come in and what part of the phenomenon, what experiences they are going to share. That is literally my favourite part, hearing your accounts there. And I know so little about space there and so much to learn there. I love space-themed movies there. Moonfall is my absolute favourite. Have I seen Moonfall? That's ringing a bell. There, but I totally get it. I spend 1 foot in the weird stuff and 1 foot in, like, you know, the space science stuff. It's just so awesome. I barely understand any of it, but it is just so awesome. it goes to our education systems that they can destroy interest in all of these amazing things. Like maybe if we looked at chemistry, it'd be that interesting and fascinating as well. It's just what we're exposed to. But yeah, the weirdness of it is unstoppable. I think that. Oh, we're all good, Brian. We're a little bit hot. 35.9 degrees in this room, guys. Suffering for the art. How are you doing, though? And the infinite... Where's it gone? Oh, my God. It jumped ahead of me. Sorry, guys. The infinite improbability drive there is a faster than a light propulsion system. Blunos, thank you for that. That is very, very kind of you there. Appreciate that. All goes back into the stream. Not good working late. No, that would put me in the grave there. Off to Egypt on Friday. Oh my God, Blunos. Pictures in the Discord. I need to see. Egypt is the place that if I don't get there before I croak, I'm going to be very unhappy and it'll start haunting people. Because that is... Yeah, where are you going? Are you going to do the pyramids? Are you going to do like the Nile, Luxor? I want to hear all about it there. I'm excited for you. Every time somebody goes to Egypt, I want to see the pictures. But the drive is a faster than light propulsion system, and it's manipulating quantum probabilities, allowing a spacecraft to pass through every conceivable point in every universe. Oh, the Hitchhiker's Guide. I heard about that one, and look, to the best of our understanding, what we've come to is warp drives and wormholes. But that is again based on our limited knowledge of reality and how it all works. Maybe there are ways just like that, hopping in and out of dimensions or utilizing certain properties. And I thought The Fifth Element was a good story. Actually, it was. And it was quite an interesting one in the sense, wasn't it, that it wasn't your normal storyline for what they might be doing here. Because this is the thing. If we look to what they may be doing there. And Miss Darkside, thank you for the roses as well. I appreciate that. So it all goes back into the stream, help us improve what we do. Currently, getting the show on the road to go to Rendlesham Forest. Speaking of which, guys, get yourself a fancy Skywatcher t-shirt there. I am quite a fan of these. The novelty will wear off soon and we'll stop being QVC. But until then, you're going to get to see a lot of the t-shirts. Where was we? The Fifth Element, yeah. So normally it's aliens invading, they want our blood, they want our gold, something like that. But that was a different take on it. And extraordinary claims, I need extraordinary evidence there. So that was another Sagan quote there. We hear that on a lot. I don't agree with it, though. I think it's branded about a lot as a sort of a dismissive thing there. Because in science, evidence is evidence. It passes the bill or it doesn't. For me, it feels a very emotional statement for science to make there, which scientists do all the bloody time. I think it highlights their bias there. It just needs evidence. It's the same bar, or it should be the case there. But it's like with the alien radio signals. There's a hell of a lot of strange signals out there, but they tend to filter them out. They literally go, nah, that was too loud. It's far too loud. What? You don't know what their transmission power is. You don't know what they're capable of. It's too loud there. And 160 million different civilizations in our galaxy alone. Well, there's definitely the space for it. And you know what? I would lean that way. Like, if, but with the knowledge that we have, and this is the key, this is it. Science will go, and it's done some fantastic work. It has a lot of data, but out of the scheme of things, of whatever our reality is and all things you can test, it's minuscule amount there. I don't think we are anywhere near the point where we can say that there is or there isn't, life. I think we've got some very good indicators that there are. I think it's statistically likely, but for anybody to argue otherwise, we just haven't done the measurements to know for sure. To know that Earth is rare, we can't properly test that. The way that we do observe those planets around those other stars is one of two ways at the minute. One is by we watch that tiny pixel. Look, we'll do it right here, right now. Again, we don't go in as far as some of those other ones, but we'll go to this nice bright star here.
Zoom mode
So what they do
activated.
is in their telescopes, they look at this and okay, it's a slightly better resolution, right? But honestly, these distances, it ain't that much better, even with the big telescopes there. And they look to that dot of light and they measure its brightness. And if that brightness dims a couple of percent regularly, then they assume that there is a planet in orbit that is blocking that light ever so slightly on rotation. That is the transit method, and that can only really detect Jupiter-sized planets big enough to have a noticeable dip of light. The other way is that they stare at that star, just like we're doing right now, they're looking at it, and they are able to notice a minuscule wobble. of it, and that is the gravitational interaction between that and the planets that are around, and they can calculate how big the planets are and what the orbits are for that. But again, it's the confidence they have and how precise those the results are with these things. Oh, it's coming out. Is where the difficulty lies at the minute. So it's like, if we don't know Earth's special, because we can firstly really only see Jupiter-sized planets around other stars, and we can't even check all of the stars. The really, really bright ones, the ones like our star, are really difficult to do. They're too bright to notice the dip in when those things go in front of it there. So our technology just isn't there to say with any confidence that there isn't life out there. Carl Sagan. I always get Sagan and the other one mixed up. Where did we get to? God, there's a few messages behind, guys, but I will get through them. Oh my God. Where did we get to there? That was a good one, Dark Jedi. It works too. Most stars we see are actually two. That is actually very true, Tree, and I did not know this till recently. So most other stars out there are binary systems, and a good chunk of them are trinary systems. There are 3 stars there. Normally it's one big bastard that we're mostly seeing, and then there's like a smaller ones around it. Ours isn't a particularly big star, so a lot of these, zooming, they're actually, binary systems. There's 2 stars. There's one star orbiting another out there. In fact, it's one of the most common setups that there is. And I like the approach there, the diversity of different topics there, because perhaps there is more than one truth, depending on the 100% they're living like 100. This is the thing. We, again, in our reductionist world, have gone, right, it is a binary yes or no. We can, break everything down to, is it or is it a measurement there? But a lot of the time, perspective is relevant there, like, it'd be a truth for me to say, well, I got on the train today. But if your consideration is, that I was wearing trousers, then, you've not got that bit of information there. It wasn't a truth. It was, it depends on your perspective, your point of view, what information you need to take per question. And, when you're reducing it down to a single measurable thing there, you're missing a lot of context around it. So there are definitely degrees of truths. I could go, well, the train was green. That was true. And it's technically more truer than I was on a train. I was on a green train, a bit truer there. I was on a green train that was hot. There are versions of this. Well, we simplify what we're conveying there to kind of be as efficient as possible at conveying information. But is one true and the other one not? It's the same event. And absolutely need to watch it if you haven't. The name is ringing a bell. I'm going to have to, if not, I'm going to have to add it to our movie club list there. 1 of all 3 stars have a companion. 1/3 of all. I thought it was a higher that. I thought it was quite. I thought it was like most of them are binaries there. And I am dying due to the heat now. Oh my God, definitely there. We'll catch you later, Brian. Hopefully not too much. 36.1 there. And there is one UFO case where the humanoid gave a farmer a stone locked. Looked quite like the stones in the 5th. Really, I've not heard of that one. I heard about the ones where the guy got given a pancake by the aliens. There's C3 Rock, good spotting. I'm too far behind in the chat, sorry though. And Professor Richboy there. And I love Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy when they use the warp drive and end the world. People, this looks funny moments. I haven't seen it in years. I need to watch that one. I need to add to our movie club. Always a flashing one, Dark Jedi there. Sorry, I'm so far behind. The interactive grid isn't on. Isn't working tonight, so I'm not getting the notification if we're missing the good ones. I've got one eye on the screen, but I do still miss some of them. And the different perspectives there. I love the name Elizabeth because that's my mother's name. Yet at the same time, I am very wary of the former queen, even though she bears the same name. But it's a lovely name there. But I think you're totally right, different perspectives. And what is the chance that at the end of the day, any individual one of us is going to be 100% right? It's always going to be degrees of percentages. We're all doing our best to navigate the world with our knowledge, with our intelligence, with our experiences, with how many distractions we've got on in the day. So yeah, I think it's it's always good to have other people and other people's opinions, mixing it all up there. And Oh, Bon as well. How are we doing there? Hello, Sky Crawlers there. New here from southwest Sweden. Very, very welcome in. How are your skies there? Have you ever seen anything strange yourself there? Probably left the screen. Sorry, Dark Jedi there. And we can only see a sliver of the radio spectrum. Most things are invisible. They really, really are. Like, we do not see a lot of objective reality. If that is even the case, the quantum world is pointing to maybe there isn't an objective reality, which is pretty weird there. And my claim to fame is living near Jodrell Bank there. Now, that is a big telescope. That is a very, very big telescope. Can you have a word for us? Because when we do our alien radio signal hunt streams, that would be useful. We've got a big dish, but it ain't Jodrell Bank big. That is pretty cool, though. And is a Superman from Super Earth? Will it have to be to get off the gravity? Remember, the bigger the planet there, the more mass, and the more gravity. There is a size of rocky planet where a species would never be able to get off just because of the gravity there. And there is probably a cow planet somewhere in the universe. If it's infinite, there is every variation. I do like to think, though, that, if we're looking back, look at these ones coming across the screen right now. Remember, guys, we need to see these.
Zoom mode
We need to
activated.
follow them across the screen. We need to see them stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory. That will tell us for sure that it is something a little bit stranger than a man-made satellite, which there are a hell of a lot of them out there. Oh, hello. Didn't notice this orange one a second ago. I thought that was stationary. I thought that was two. Maybe it's just my eyes playing up. But keep your eyes on that one. See if that one fucks about again. That could be interesting. And, the humanoid. I have the dude on a tractor and a pancake. Some of the stories are brilliant. And you will love the film. Professor, I'll have to check that one out. I don't know why it rings a bell, but I'm not getting any images of it there. And pop it around. Please do. I had to add it to our movie club list. That'll be a definite one there. Janie, thank you for the gifts as well there. Said appreciate those guys. All goes back into the stream. Going to bounce back over to the TikTok now. See where we got to in the chat. Where did we get to there? Mr. Darkside coming in with the shares. Again, helps us reach more and more like-minded people there like yourselves. You never know who's going to come in and what experience of the phenomena they are all going to share. But make sure you're following us, guys, because we're on pretty much every night. Clear skies, as we're expecting this week with this damn heat wave. It's the UFO UAP Skywatch coming to you live from Wiltshire, which is right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge. Cloudy nights, it's the alien radio signal hunt there. I'm listening on the hydrogen line, like the film Contact, hoping to hear ET say hello. And if I can be bothered, we look at the moon, see all the craters, all the details, and some weird things as well to boot. When I can be bothered, though. And where are we in there? And Egypt is my only real major bucket list to do there, other than America, touring the whole country. See, that's the thing with America. It's such a big little, the United States there. There is just such a, you've got to do a road trip. 100%. I'm definitely Egypt and doing that. And got a night gazing night with a meal there. Oh, that's it. We'll still be watching there. I love that, Blue Nose. I love that. You gotta see if you can get a selfie with the stream on image there next to the pyramids. That sounds so cool. Have an awesome time. And for the print fund there for the paranormal, UFO and tornadoes, there is just so much over there. Like, to be mobile, you'd never run out of places to go and to do stuff. And you can do it now with the technology. Starlink as well. You could just spend all your time investigating and stuff like that. Oh, and you bought a cheaper scope there from market today there. Have ordered the eyepiece and to come to an excellent there. I just need to do that. I just need to get myself a cheap telescope and just have a play around. But me being a tart, I'm always like, no, I need to figure out which one I need. And it takes me 6 years. And while I'm saying the last bit, saving the last bit there, that's the sensible thing. Have something to work with whilst you're waiting for the. I never learn though. I want to see the pictures from it though, and I love the info there. And Mr. Darkside, I appreciate you coming in there as well. Again, when we first started doing the stream, literally just over a year ago, it was last Thursday was our anniversary of doing these lives. My initial thought was, is anybody going to be interested? And, if I can just get 5, 10, 15 people to just keep me company of an evening, then I'll feel less like a tit just doing this on my own, looking out for the stuff. And, I mean, we've not reached last summer's numbers, but, we're getting, you get a lot of you guys, and it's such a friendly group that are just coming in, sharing experiences. People tell such horrors of the internet, but honestly, our experience has been 99.9% amazing. Not only are you guys just awesome hanging out, but you're sharing your knowledge, which is quite a vulnerable thing to do, sharing your experiences. So, hats off to you guys. We do definitely appreciate you there. And B2 as well, good spotting, bit behind it there. And surely, like you say, these stars, like our worlds, they're 99% support life, but they are too young. Well, this is the other interesting part of this, is that it's not just space, it is time. You know, what are the ages of the universe, the vastness of it there? Not only has there been plenty of time for other civilizations to existed and to have fallen, but you know, we might just not exist in the right time. The ones in the past, the ones coming up in the future, maybe there are here, but the distance is involved. There are some reasonable arguments to be made, you know, around that. But life itself has got to be abundant, whether it's intelligent or not. And I think some of the evidence that we're getting of what we're hearing, I think really for me, I'm like, if I had to make a bet, gun to my head, I'm putting it on that. And a star is making the life a lot further back in life there, and tech and so on, definitely. And so would it be better to search for planets around dead stars, all for life? So yeah, to see if they've already had their time. Well, I mean, dead stars, depending on what they are, they can wipe planets clean, you know, if they explode, definitely strip atmospheres and things like that. But the idea of, like, you know, alien graveyards and things like that, I think, you know, exoarchaeology or something they call it, the idea of, you know, archaeology in space there, because it's got to be just the sheer numbers we're talking about here. There's got to be a very romantic ruins of alien civilizations. It's been a good night, Tick Tick. Thank you there as well. Community's tiered up. Thank you, Blue Nose. And Tick Tick as well. Thank you for the gifts there. And I have mentioned you in the cam pics and everything are awesome. But obviously, I'm so far behind in the messages and on the Discord and stuff. But I will check them out. Hopefully, I'm going to get a chance tomorrow to do that one. And when I was young, I saw a light in the sky there and just thought it was a plane until it shot off in a different direction. And Adam, how many people do you think have had similar experiences like that? But the UFOs just haven't been an option for them. Like, subconsciously, they might have seen a film or two, but it's not been their thing. So they just go, oh, it's a light. You know, they don't even process, they don't even know enough to know it is anomalous. I think there's going to be so many people. Like, once the stigma goes enough where people can freely share their experiences, then other people are not only going to go, oh, God, there's a lot of this going on, but they're going to click. They're going to go, oh, I had an experience like that. Oh, no, I had an experience like that, and I thought it was just this. I mean, on this very stream, there was a phenomena that I thought was just man-made satellites, but no, we've had people come in who work with satellites and can confirm that, you know, that shouldn't be, yeah, it wasn't, basically. It was highly anomalous. So again, you know, we're filtering through what we know and what we can understand. And yeah, there's got to be something, even if it's completely destroyed there, we must be able to find the trace. We might not be, you know, so with our hands tied behind our backs at the minute, being at the distances with our technology. We are still able to, say, see the light in the skies. Now, one of these spherized things you might have heard are called Dyson spheres or Dyson swarms. The idea is that a super advanced civilization just want to get all of the energy it can from its star. No fucking about waiting for it to travel across deep space or all of the stuff there. They would encase their own star, basically with a big solar panel ball, and we would be able to detect that, because that makes that star look very, very strange to us. And we apparently have detected things that could very well be that. Quite a few there. And NG, what's all this CGI? This is not CGI, this is live camera, night sky here. See? Oh, turn it back a bit. We had some movement there. There we go, night sky. In fact, let's zoom in on some of these. Most of these are going to be man-made satellites there. But if they stop dead, short at speed, change their course or trajectory, then we know that they are something a little bit stranger indeed. It is rarer, but it does happen. So we have to follow them across the screen there. Where are you joining us from there, NG? But yeah, that is what we are doing. But there's going to be a lot of things up there. I mean, the Dyson swarms and the Dyson spheres, there are stars that are dimming by ridiculous amounts. You know, when we mentioned earlier that the percentage that a star would dip, and that is the brightness would dip, and that's how they can tell sometimes if there's a planet going over. It's normally single-digit percentages for massive planets like Jupiter. They have seen quite commonly stars dip by 25%. We do not know what is in orbit around that star that is covering that much of it to block that much light anomalous. But there is one star in particular, not too far away from us, that is doing in the 90s, and that just blows our mind. But very interestingly, those ones, they're all clustered together. Not everyone, but there's a big cluster of these anomalous behaving stars. But it's not every star in the cluster, it's every type of a similar type of star. Funnily enough, our type of star, it's the same type of star as ours, which we know supports life. What would you do as a civilization? You'd bounce to other suitable stars with your technology. So there are these little clues, not slam dunk, but it's there. It doesn't look real. No, it really does. The sky is amazing. The first time I turned this camera on and got the lens settings just right, there was 14 objects moving across the sky. I dropped my drink, went, fuck me, the aliens are arriving, you know. But it's just a hell of a lot of man-made satellites. It's just so much busier up there. But some of the colours that you get to see of these stars, it's just absolutely stunning. You don't realise how big, and this isn't even a telescope. This is just a digital camera that lets in a lot of light. That's all it is. Nothing fancy in there, just coming straight into the computer. It's your troll account there. I live in Ireland there, and I've never seen stars like this. So that's a good question. Ireland's got a long history of the phenomena, so welcome in. Have you ever seen anything strange though? There was a nice orange one. But what we're seeing is
Zoom mode activated.
two things that's going on there. So the first of all is that this lens, this nice orange one there, and again, orange, guys, could be a sign of that ionized plasma coating. Might not be a satellite, might be something stranger, but we can't say for sure until it does a zigzag or something. But yeah, the first thing is this lens is like lets in more light than you see with the human eye. So depending where you are, if you're in a rural area, you're going to have pretty low light pollution, so you can see more stars anyway. But if you're in a more built up area, all of that light from the street lights, the other houses, it lowers, you know, the clarity basically, so that can really affect it. But this lens lets in about 2.5 times what the human eye lets in as well. So we would, as you can probably see, this star, this star, this star, this star, and all the others would just be black for us because the light isn't strong enough for our eyes to detect them. The colours as well, because it lets in that light, we can start to see some of that coloration, but the lens does exaggerate the colours. Part of the reason how lenses work, and it's letting a lot of light, it kind of does give it a little bit of an extra boost in that area, but it is drawing from what is real. It's not too bad, but yeah, so that's why it looks it, but it looks amazing there. It's all right. It's all right there. And sometimes I see lights in the sky. Well, I mean, this is the thing. There are lots of strange lights in the sky. Most of them are man-made. Just statistically, it's going to be, isn't it? It is going to be. Sorry, my brain's got in the heat. We're at 36 degrees in here. It's warm. But yeah, most of it is 15,000 man-made objects up there. So most of the things we're going to see are going to be those man-made satellites bouncing that sunlight back down to us here on Earth. But if we pay attention, we will see the strange ones coming in occasionally there. And thanks for not being disrespectful to me. No, thank you for asking. It's good questions. And, you know, this is the thing. Like, I hadn't seen the stars like this as well. So that's what blew my mind. Totally blew my mind. So, guys, any questions are totally welcome here, there. I don't trust anything for a camera. And in this day and age as well, look, there's only, you know, you don't know if I am messing things up. I mean, I can tell you, I mean, it is the case. I've got, you know, just a long HDMI lead coming straight into the computer. But in this day and age, you never know. I mean, so we can move it around to prove that it's in real time. There we go. Ooh, back again if it wants to work. Let's get back to where it was because there's some more movement over there. But, yeah, you can only trust, can't you, sometimes these days. But you can still enjoy the night sky. And I'm sure none of us would mind if you said you're calling it a night. I probably am going to in a second there. Probably another couple of minutes. It is a bit warm in here there. I try, but I am incredibly fallible there, NG. I have bad days as well. It's the heat's getting to me. But yeah, always welcome in here as well. Even again, we welcome skeptics as well. It's always good to balance these things off, and we can all enjoy it, the night sky. Right, going to quickly bounce back over to the YouTube and finish up the chats there, and then we can see, and we'll round up for the night. But where did we get to? 13 years of time is like a grape on a grapevine, and it is a great cosmic vineyard. I love the way you're putting that. It's supposed to be showing up tonight, hopefully. And back now, just my head under the... Oh, Brian. Oh, I need to cool down now. I need a drink. And the Earth bombs through a shower of 4 million a year old rock. It does. So those meteor showers... You know, it's the Earth flying through a rubble patch in the night sky, and as it's going through, they're entering our atmosphere and burning up there as well. And I bet you loved the Artemis 2 launch there, and I watched the whole thing. I really did, Chloe, I really did. But as you'll start to learn if you hang out with us here on the stream, nothing ever pleases me. And the camera footage they had approaching the moon, the live feed, it was literally just a GoPro strapped to the bloody wing. And I brought it, because we had it on the stream, I brought it up and we were watching it. Then I kept bringing up this little moon video and I'm going, our fucking moonshot's better. And this was a £35 lens from China. They could have done a lot better for the live stream. But yeah, it's very exciting that we are all going back to the moon. And Daniel, there, is your hydrogen line signal a live stream running 24/7 on the tubes or not, or is it through the site? So it is running through the site. meant to be 24/7. What has happened at the second is that the little computer that it's running from does not like the heat, and it's melted a little bit. So when the heat wave ends, I can reboot it and I can see if it's going to work. But the idea is it was running 24/7. So what we do on those cloudy nights, guys, there we go. We do this alien radio signal hunt. They're using a big dish, listening out for signals there. But that software that you're seeing there that's listening all the time, connected to our dish, is available 24/7 when it works, not in this bloody heat wave, over on our website. So if we give you a second there, here's the website. Again, lots of normal website bits, schedules, the information on the deep dives, movie club, Discord, all that bollocks. Once it scrolls through the video there, you'll be able to see some of the other features. So you do have to pair it with a Patreon account. When you register on the website, if you use the same email as your Patreon, then it lets you in. This is our signals dashboard. So in there, we've got all of the things like the solar wind, the geomagnetic index, the Schumann resonance, all this sort of stuff that you can monitor there live. All things that are contextually relevant to what we're monitoring tonight. You can chop and change what you want. You can pop them out as well, so you can do other things. You have it on the second screen while the stream is live. But also, there we go, as you click through, you can log in at any point 24/7 and monitor for those alien radio signals, and you can log them as well, and it records who's logged them. So if you do get anything good, you can do it there. But at the second, it is playing up because of the heat. Didn't consider the cooling of having multiple computers. Oh, look at those three together down there. Again, we need to see that anomalous movement. But yeah, it will be. And so the website for that is thethingufo.live if you want to check that one out. And I vote for billboards in space and tax the aliens. You know there will be. You know there will be. Question of how long. I'm looking forward, because you can plot these things of history repeating itself. I'm looking forward to space piracy, because you know it will be. We're already getting the privateers. It's not going to be long before it's space pirates. Space Titanic as well, and things like that. Oh, look. TikTok has banned me from GIFs. I've obviously said something horrendously offensive there. What did they say? I can't remember. It doesn't even tell me. Oh well, doesn't really matter. Where did we get to? When I was young, we didn't have any space junk there, and I'd get to the big eyes and see Andromeda clearly. Now we can see Andromeda occasionally on here, and it looks like one of these stars but smudged, and that is a whole other galaxy, guys. Not just another star with 3 planets around it, a whole other galaxy with billions and billions of stars. And Sam, do you think we choose where and how we incarnate family and country and so on? I really don't know. I've got to admit that because until I can understand how something would work, then I don't know where to kind of put the individual accounts and things around it. I'm always like this. If you want to teach me a new skill, I've got to figure out how the thing works before I take in any lessons. I'm incredibly infuriating. The same thing works for these sorts of theories. And that really does interest me. It's better the missus is talking about all of that sort of thing as well. And I'm fascinated by it. But I just can't get my head around the structure. And then Kate in our chat, she mentioned this one part of it, and then it kind of clicked that I was trying to apply a general relativistic cause and effect linear structure on something that probably would be nothing like that at all. And at the minute, that's blown my mind. And I'm like, well, I don't even know how I can start to understand this. But I'm fascinated by all of that stuff. But I have no idea where to start with it there. And a jellyfish defeated an F-15 in the news. I've heard about some of the stuff, the conflicts and stuff going on there. And last night was pop in there. And I was sure a UFO was landing. I ran for my compass to see if it was spinning. It's a little test like that. I took no magnetism. It's going to be a little clue towards it there. Almost done here on the tubes. And if I can get an old PC running, I may have a video of interest for you. 100%. I would love to see that one. That I took about 8 years or so ago. Christmas Eve night with 2 objects that I recorded and watched. I would love to see that. And we'd love to see that on the Discord in the personal experiences section, because then that way the whole community can see it, even if they're not in tonight. That would be phenomenal. Funny enough, Christmas, because old Rendlesham Forest was Christmas. The thing that happened in this little town in the 60s and 70s, that started literally Christmas morning as well. That's kicked off 10 years of solid events there. So there may be something around the time there. And the patrolman Godfrey found a UFO in the road, and it gave him the Oz effect, which is so a common in UFO cases. Godfrey's at Todmorden, that one as well, which is another place you want to attend with our Skywatch there. And what do you think about August the 12th, when we will have 7 seconds of a weightlessness on Earth, real or fake. So I'm interested in those things, but again, this is my really limited understanding of science here. I just hear a few interesting things and parrot them, so there's possibly ways around it. But due to my understanding, so the idea that there are these gravitational waves which are real, that could be converging, if you think like waves and ripples in the pool, and that convergence would cancel out the gravity here, and then cause us a lot of problems. Now, cancelling out gravity, I think that could be more than possible. But my thing is, I don't know how we would know that that's going to happen, because gravity is the same as light, is the same as radio. They all travel at the speed of light. There is no way that information, so the idea that an event has happened, that we've detected an event that far away and we know in advance, like the first warning we should get of that would be the gravity wave itself, because that's the thing that travels the fastest. So that's where I'm on it there. But you don't know, maybe there's a clever way around it. But that's where I'm kind of caught with that. I think, if that travels at the speed of light, that's the fastest, how would we know? In the same way that, like, one of these stars, however far they are away, we wouldn't know immediately. We would know however many years versus how many light years there are. There's 2 in succession here. But never say never. And we'll find out on the tour who we will. Look, I'll still be holding on to something just in case. And so many cases are with a physical traces. There really is. When people go, where's the evidence? There's a lot of evidence. If this was the court of law, it would be a slam dunk if this was a murder trial. And then hydration reminder. Thank you, living light. I've run out of water now, so we'll have to wind up soon. The meteor shower tonight. We haven't seen any tonight there, and it is very, very hot. We are currently at 36 in here, guys. There, and if I started floating, I'd have a heart attack there. Just got to strap yourself in. There. You'll be fine. Right, back over quickly to the TikTok there. And a flat earther there as well, but I like learning. Flat earth is not a way that I lean, but again, we don't know. I haven't done these scientific experiments myself, and the things that for me, why I have confidence in it, being the more closer to a traditional model. I don't think I've got it 100% right, but closer to how they'd normally say. And again, I haven't done the maths that relies on that as well. We can see these objects moving that appear to be in orbit, but I'm still trusting on other scientists that have worked out the maths on these things. So again, I'll never say never. It's not where I'm leaning, but you're very, very welcome to it. And if there's good explanations, I'm always willing to hear it as well. I haven't been sold yet, but I'm willing to hear it there. And when I see people believing NASA nonsense and CGI, I get skeptical. And I think I don't blame it. In this day and age, it's like the moon landings. Like, I do think we went to the moon, but I do think there are questions to be raised. And I think that people that are skeptical of that are crazy. No, not in the world that we live in at all. I can totally get it. I totally get it. And has anyone ever dreamed about aliens? I have when I was younger, and actually recently I had a triangular craft dream that was just whooshing towards me. Very brief there. New living and not quite the lucid dreamer. See, I very rarely remember my dreams, very, very rarely. And each to their own there. We're a broad church, even flat earthers are. Exactly, Brian, exactly. This is the thing, it's a meeting of minds, because even if we don't have to, agree with all the things, there might be individual things within somebody that they're going to bring to the table that you go, oh, wait a minute, now that makes sense for this, not necessarily will go either which way, but they said it's a knowledge buffet. We're all bringing a dish to the buffet. We don't force the vegans to eat the sausage rolls, we just take the bits that we want. As long as it's all respectful, we're not forcing it on everybody else. I think the more minds we can get together to share those things, the better chance we have of eventually cracking the nuts there. So definitely. Right, I am going to have to wind it up for tonight. I am literally on fire. 36 degrees. Oh, well, quickly, let's just check the American for this one. What is it? What's 30? 102.7 degrees in here. Oh, it's gone down. It always spikes up. 97.5 Fahrenheit. That is warm. Right, so I'm going to go try and cool down in a mere 30 degrees house. But thank you everybody for joining us as always. You're awesome. I love you. I love hanging out with you. I will see you all tomorrow night for another Skywatch. So make sure you're following or subscribed, whatever it is, wherever you are there, so we can all join in again. Hopefully, stay hydrated, guys. Hopefully you can enjoy a bit of the weather and not become rotisserie Skywatchers there. Have a nice cold shower. I think I might have to after this. It's ridiculous there. And I learnt while on board the USS Orion, as a A8 15 for 2 years. Teresa, was it you the other night that was talking about the were you the one with the radio detection on the top of the radio tower when you got the signal? Was that you? I can't remember because this chap came in the other night and I couldn't remember specifically who it was there. But yeah, make sure you're following it there. And again, if you did want to check out our deep dives, the link gives you a month for free on the Patreon, so you can join us for Saturday night for that. But we've also got Movie Club, remember, this Friday. I think it's probably going to be 8:30 to 9 o'clock. I will let you know specifically over in the Discord, watching, oh God, what's it called? Alien Autopsy. It's on Amazon Prime. There you go. And you're welcome to join us. That link in bios for that one as well. But I wasn't. But no worries. Anyway, guys, night. Catch you all later. Goodbye.